You are now tuned in to the To Be Told podcast.
Can I do like fact checking on your phone?
All right.
My shit's gonna die.
Is your phone on mute?
My phone is on mute. Is your phone on mute?
Absolutely not.
What is that noise?
That is me trying to order wings right now from a place here in Houston.
Is that what that noise is?
That's what that noise
Is that why we starting the podcast an hour and a half late? Because of your wings?
Because of these late ass wings.
God damn it.
Damn.
Where you ordering from?
Pizza Hut.
See, why you plugging them? Just because I ask you don't mean you got to answer.
Well, shit, maybe we'll censor it.
That's a good idea. Actually, nah, because they're taking forever. You might want to blast them. They take forever.
Yeah. That's the angle I was going for.
Yeah,
Put them on blast.
Well, they got that centralized answering service. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
That shit sucks.
Right, because your food's not coming, so it sucks. When it's efficient, it's dope.
Well, it's efficient for the business, yes, but it also takes out the fact that I can immediately call the store and either order or, get my shit taken care of.
Right, but what it does is since you can order from another place, when you call the store, they know it's some bullshit, so they don't answer.
Exactly. That's
so.
See, I thought someone picked up right there.
Now it's Tuesday evening. Mm-hmm. It is 10:27. We're in Houston, Texas. The Rockets aren't playing.
Nope.
Texans ain't in the playoffs.
Nope.
We got a hockey team?
No.
Yeah.
Nothing to disturb them from bringing me.
Astros already won the World Series.
What is this bullshit?
I don't know. They bullshitting. They just don't want to answer.
This is some bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost tempted to give the address of this place.
Yeah, I thought you meant my address. I was like, that's not a good idea.
No, not your address. The address of the Pizza Hut.
Yeah, man. So anyway, we ain't done this in a while, man.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Our last episode, we had Donnie Houston on.
Yeah.
That was super dope.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Donnie Houston for coming through.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Yeah, man. But other than that, man, feels like it's been a minute, I guess.
Not really. It's a couple weeks,
I'd say
a couple
2
holidays.
weeks.
Yeah. A couple weeks. Not too long.
Yeah, not too long.
Yeah, I don't miss you.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. I can see it in your eyes. It's in your eyes.
I don't like you looking at me. I feel uncomfortable now.
Why should you? It's just another grown man looking at another grown man in his eyes.
Yeah, but there's a time limit. You're past that time limit, just like your food.
I see what you did there.
We got a full house, man.
And we do. I actually have a lot of my family members here.
I know. It's the clan thing. I gotta hold my jokes back.
Nah, man.
Although Trey was giving me high fives when I was dishing you in the video.
Yeah,
that's pretty funny.
And then you kept that clip in the video.
I made sure that was getting in there.
Did that make it in the video?
It did.
Made it in the video.
It was golden. Yeah, it was golden.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So well, now that he's kind of breaking the sound barrier,
I know, right?
We actually have my cousin Trey.
That's right.
On the show today.
That's the weird voice you'll be hearing. Well, he has the weird voice. Trey has a normal voice. Elliot has a weird voice.
Why is my voice weird?
You know what? How about might have to turn that down just a little bit. Otherwise, this might be just like the worst episode ever.
I know. I think this
like a Ghostface freestyle. Yeah.
No, like a Action Bronson.
No, Ghostface Ghostface.
Ghostface.
Yeah. Why would you give the name after the person who sounds like dude? I just said.
I fucked with Bronson.
But the point was you don't know what I'm talking about because you don't listen to Ghost. Ghostface will freestyle over a record that's with the vocals in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. This may be him.
Action did it on his last one.
And he did that.
And it was because of Ghostface.
Exactly.
His whole shit is Ghostface.
There you go.
Yeah.
How you doing? I'm downstairs with your order, but outside the gate, cut the gate closed.
Okay, already. I'll be down there in a second.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
All right. What was it? What was it? You should have got his name. You should have got the guy's name. Like, what's your name, man?
Should have. I'm gonna go get this food.
All right, cool.
We're gonna come right back.
Absolutely.
We got Trey on.
That's right.
It's the To Be Told podcast.
Indeed.
What was that?
We're good.
I'm gonna use this voice for the remainder of the episode.
Why would you want to use that voice?
I don't know. It feels like I should be introducing something.
We finally got the wings.
Now.
Today, Elliot finally got his wings, but tomorrow, brings. I know y'all don't get it. You're like, what the fuck is he doing? In the ears, that sounds pretty dope.
Well, not just that. He's doing the voice that he did from his New Year's Eve.
Is that the voice?
That is the voice.
It's
Yeah,
very
it is.
distinguished.
Yeah, that is. I guess that is.
And
Yeah.
you sound like you need a different name.
Yeah, just yeah. What, like a white man kind of
No.
like name.
Either
Jeffrey?
very white or very.
Ooh, know what's a very powerful first name? Like a last name. Like Jackson.
Domingo.
That's not a last name. You just fucked up my whole flow.
That is. It's a Dominican last name.
Oh, is it?
Puerto Rican or
D-
something.
D- Domingo?
What's that? Domingo.
I know a lot.
That's Sunday.
Stephen Domingo.
So
Domingo.
Domingo is Sunday. So we're gonna call him Sunday.
Is that what Domingo means? Sunday?
Yeah.
I know a lot of Domingo, especially when I'm wrong.
He's kind of
So
Puerto Rican.
Sunday, first day of the week,
Oh, okay.
Sunday. I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, man, we finally got the wings.
We
Burned
definitely got the
them.
wings, yeah.
Um,
We filled our bellies
and
with wings.
with good wings.
Yeah, good
finally.
wings, absolutely.
Shit.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Which is actually perfect for this episode because we're winging it.
pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, we got something special though,
Yeah.
and it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And when it happens, they will know.
They will know.
They will know
And I'll use this voice the entire episode.
that it happens.
Man, so we got Trey here, another mind, and I know you're a great conversationalist, so I want to get into some things.
All right.
On the mind now.
That's why we brought him.
Yeah, exactly. So I know that probably when you hear this episode, this topic's probably been like just beaten to the ground, right? Because we usually drop one on like Wednesday, Thursday
What's that?
when we do this because it's Tuesday night, so we'll probably drop Wednesday, Thursday.
So Wednesday, Thursday.
So you know everybody, yeah, okay,
We're gonna get a lot of this,
yeah,
probably at this point, but hopefully,
yeah.
I'm gonna say a lot of stuff that people can't say on CNN.
There you go. Yeah, of course. That's what the podcast is for.
Yeah.
So, you guys want to get into you want to get into the monkey business right away, or you want to do something else? That's too
Nah.
That's too strong.
Yeah.
Which I want to
No,
start
I
with.
mean, let's go ahead and go into this whole situation with the White House and how things are playing out,
Okay.
and then
I don't know much about it, so y'all gonna be informing me now.
that's why we have
Here
this
we go.
gentleman,
Okay.
and he's been educating me on this all friggin' day.
Okay. What's going on? Is that the transcript you were talking about?
Yeah.
Let's get into this transcript.
Yeah. So this transcript got released today. It's the CEO and co-founder of Fusion GPS. So Fusion GPS sounds like a tech firm,
It does.
right? So, but it's not. It's a party opposition research firm. So they're paid by different candidates to dig up dirt on other candidates.
Got you.
So
Some Edgar Hoover type shit.
right, yeah, really, it's crazy. So the whole thing, the reason why this transcript was so important, everybody knows about the investigation that's going on.
No, I don't. Maybe for the collusion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so this investigation's been going on. A bunch of different stuff has been happening. Book has come out, all kinds of shit. Steve Bannon, old colleague of our president.
Yeah.
So Steve Bannon is like, for the people who don't know, is like an ultra, how do I say this, white nationalist. So he's super racist, and he's mainstreamed it. And he came out and said, Donald Trump Jr. was pretty much dumb as a stump and walked his dad backwards into treason.
Wow. He
Yeah.
said this was in the transcript or his book.
This was in the book.
Okay. So I'm late. I know that book is old.
Yeah. So like the week has been crazy. The past 2 weeks has been crazy. It really looked like Donald was going to be able to walk through this one and be like, oh,
Unscathed again.
Yeah. And then everything has just been going to hell. So to backtrack, there is an investigation going on.
Another one.
Okay. Russia definitely meddled in our election.
Now, when you say definitely, this is they got hard evidence on this.
This is a definite that they meddled.
Gotcha.
Everybody is agreeing on this one at this point. Okay.
Meddled is a hilarious term.
And the reason, and the thing that's so interesting about it to me is like it's a really big social context thing. If people look at it, because the way they are agreeing that they meddled in it is by buying up social media ads. and playing on America's hate. And it was like that easy for them to see.
That's crazy.
So the collusion part is like really being argued now. And the thing about collusion is it implies, obviously, that Donald Trump was a willing part. Was a willing part in trying to influence the election.
Willing part in allowing this meddling?
Right, by Russia.
Got you.
So that's almost giving him too much credit, is what it's seeming like. Because, so there was this dossier that was compiled, and this is where Fusion GPS comes in. They got paid by other Republicans at first to do.
Fusion GPS.
Fusion GPS got paid by other Republicans to do opposition research on Trump.
The Republicans, or was
Wow.
that for Clinton?
No, this is for the Republicans.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
During the primary, because you got to remember.
This is when they didn't want him. They didn't want him to win the primary.
Right.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I'm with you
No,
now.
because you got to.
I was confused. I'm with you now. Yeah.
Okay,
for
so
sure,
there's
for
like
sure.
a few things as I say this that you got to keep in mind. We're talking about Donald Trump. Okay, he's crazy as hell. Okay.
Really, do tell.
Yeah. So like he's nuts. He's the only. I was in the car the other day listening to a psychiatrist talk about him on the radio.
Wow.
On like CNN, right? And I'm like, what is going on? The president is actually being talked about as a crazy person. But okay, so back to Fusion GPS thing. All right. Yeah, because we can get off topic on him just being crazy as hell.
Right.
That's
right.
the easy.
But back to the
what's actually
Republicans
going on.
getting Fusion GPS to
Right.
invest. Well, dig up dirt on Trump.
Right. So Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, people like that,
Right.
that were running against him in the primary. It was a few candidates actually that paid Fusion GPS
Wow.
to dig up dirt. So it's not like Fusion GPS are just like a bunch of badasses walking around and can just do this or whatever, right? No, they hire people. So they outsource their work. They hired this guy named Christopher Steele. Okay, super important. This dude is like actually James Bond. No joke. Worked for MI6 for forever. Retired now, super respected. Has no reason to lie about anything ever, right? So he's doing this work. And basically, he was like, oh, this is just fucking crazy. He is so nuts that I just have to kind of keep working on this. And then he wins the primary. And then Hillary Clinton pays, her campaign pays for Fusion GPS to have this work carried on. He keeps doing it, right? Nothing has come out yet about collusion or meddling or anything, right? It's still during the election.
Because they're probably trying to see where he's sticking his dick and shit like that.
Yeah, well, that's where they're finally grabbed him by the pussy.
They're looking for the obvious stuff. Yeah.
Right. So they're looking for the obvious stuff. Everybody is just like, whatever. Well, kind of. That's what we thought. It also came out that they had been looking into him actually during part of the election. But at this point, the dossier that Christopher Steele was compiling on him hadn't came out, hadn't been shared to the FBI or anything like that. But then it started looking like he could actually win. And Hillary Clinton actually stopped funding this dossier. And shit got crazy. Christopher Steele was like, oh, man, this guy is very liable for blackmail. And at this point, I'm a terrible person, basically, if I don't report this to the FBI. This is not an American citizen. He doesn't have any actual allegiance to our country.
Right.
But he understands how
Things work.
National security at this point works, at this level.
Right.
And he felt the need to go to the FBI, right? He gets to the FBI, and they're like, oh, your stories, this dossier, is just corroborating a whole bunch of other shit that we got going on.
Okay.
So how crazy is this? So the reason why the transcript today was so important, it was the co-founder, right, who went up in front of the Judiciary Committee and gave his long spiel on how Christopher Steele should be trusted, exactly, basically the breakdown of the timeline.
Just giving his accolades and
Right.
Respect.
And saying, well, other things came to light that like people died over trying to get this dossier. Yeah. Okay. And some of the things in the dossier that is
Real quick, because you keep using the word dossier. Explain that.
Sounds like a report.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, cool.
It's
Maybe our artist is smarter than me. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
it's like it's a report of findings, like of different things. So specifically,
The discovery.
right?
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. So like different ways that President Trump could have been blackmailed
Right.
by different countries, the mob, stuff like that.
Right.
And yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is the wild part. Like, to me, it's nuts because people are thinking like, oh, it's politics and stuff. But this is really a movie.
Yeah.
Well, I think now, and not to derail, but just to add some context to it, I think it's just now. I think it's too. What's the term?
Transparent?
I almost said transgender. Yeah, it's too transparent now, to the point where it's like, I know that's what Barack ran on, transparency, things like that. But a lot of times that's still another like. It's still
there's still a level of secrecy with what Barack was doing.
Yeah, and I think when you go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I mean, as to how he was able to run it and the things. I mean, just to tie on to what he's saying,
Right.
Now they're trying to find everything and put.
And
it
that's
out
what
there.
that's a problem for the country, because you still got other people looking in. They're getting information. It's like when I look at who's smart, like when we look at like the NBA or NFL, right? Belichick, Popovich. They interview them. They want to know everything, right? But you can't give them. You can't say, oh yeah, what are you going to do in the second half to adjust to X, Y, and Z? We're going to come out and play better. That's all we need to know, because we don't need to know everything. Because then now everybody's telegraphing what we're going to be doing, and or
We're going to run an isolation straight.
exactly, or that's why Russia's able to come in and use social media to like kind of like aim at our fears and things like that. But get back to this. Is pretty good.
No, but what you guys are talking about is exactly. I mean, that's a bigger scope.
Right.
I mean, like the fusion GPS thing that happened today. Kind of talk about what you were about to say about transparency. We ain't that transparent, and like unless you're really paying attention to this all the time, like a little weirdo,
Right.
like I'm doing, you might not see the lack of transparency there.
Right.
Because really, what was so important about this coming out was the Republicans have been trying to discredit, especially the White House, this dossier the entire time. Mm-hmm. And what they've been saying is exactly what you would assume. Hillary Clinton hired a spy to go and dig up dirt on Donald Trump. And like that's obviously biased. So this should be thrown out anyway. It wasn't started because of Hillary. This was started because of y'all. And now y'all hate that that's coming out.
Right. I got you. Because weren't they trying to say it was Barack trying to hire spies and the yada yada yada?
All kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, this has been going on.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike Flynn.
Yeah.
The White House should know that they are just like royally just done, right? Mike Flynn is one of the baddest people that have ever walked this earth. No joke.
And what?
Y'all seen Team America?
No, I haven't.
The thing with the puppets.
Yeah, with the puppets.
Oh yeah, I have
right?
seen that.
Wow.
Where they're just blowing shit up and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Mike Flynn, the whole movie.
Okay. No, listen to this. No joke. There's this guy, General McChrystal. Okay, and y'all really like this.
That's a dope name. Mick and Crystal in the same last name. Damn, he's
exactly.
lucky.
Yeah.
General McChrystal.
McChrystal.
This dude is like he was like Captain America.
Okay.
No joke. Whole life got derailed by a Rolling Stone article. You guys have to look this up.
Okay.
Dude ended up dying. This was a young guy who wrote this article. Dude ended up dying like 2 years later on some sketchy shit.
Oh, do tell.
Oh man, it was nuts. But you guys have to look that one up.
Yeah.
I can't go all the
Yeah,
way into that one.
if he's white dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you got diabetes early, that's a lie. Only black people do that.
No. It was some like, his car was like somehow on fire while he was driving.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh yeah, and ran into a wall. So like, yeah,
That happens.
But so General McChrystal was the leader of the NATO forces and Allied troops in the Middle East during the heat of everything.
Yeah.
For forever. This dude only ate one time a day. He woke up at 4:00 in the morning to run 7 miles. He finished his day with 7 miles.
His name is Marcellus?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
awesome.
Exactly. Real crazy bastard. Just like what? He's over everybody. apparently troops would look up, and he would be right next to him on the front lines. That's this type of guy, right?
Okay.
So he had this crew of like 8 or 10 people apparently, and the way that this guy from Rolling Stone describes him, or the group of people, is like assassins, former military people, spies.
Right.
So
And
like
just-
some legit James Bond shit.
Oh, and just a group of crazy bastards. And they used to actually call themselves Team America. That's actually how they referred to themselves. And he ended up getting fired because of this whole thing.
The Rolling Stone article.
They let this kid in, and he thought he was untouchable. And this kid thought he was untouchable also, actually.
Right.
And he said, I can just print this. They can't fire this guy. This
Right.
guy's Captain America. And Barack was like, you out of here, bro.
Yeah.
You got
Well, Mike Flynn was his second in charge.
Mm-hmm.
And so when Mike Flynn flipped, that was it for the Trump campaign, for the Trump White House. That's it. I don't understand why people aren't saying that.
In terms of him flipping, in terms of him like divulging information.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. So for this campaign, so a few people have been charged in regards to the Russia investigation. George Papadopoulos,
Papadopoulos.
who they're trying to sell, and he's this younger guy, who they're trying to sell is this like coffee boy. He wasn't. He did kind of what I did for this congressman dude that I worked for. I just said congressman dude. Congressman Scott Peters. Let me give him a plug.
There you go.
Go vote for him, California, if
But
you're
I do-
listening.
that's a good dude, though.
Yeah,
That's a good dude.
in 2018. But no, this George Papadopoulos guy, he wasn't just...
Papadopoulos.
Yeah, Papadopoulos. He wasn't just like a little low-level coffee guy. He was a...
Wait, what happened to your mic there? You felt a little limp?
We all have those days.
Not answering that. Staying silent.
We all have those days. Don't you put that man on blast like that.
There's pills for my microphone. I got it.
Hey, there we go.
Sometimes it happens, man.
George Papadopoulos.
Papadopoulos.
Isn't there like a journalist with a similar name, or is this the same guy? It can't be the same guy.
It's Stephanopoulos.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. Okay, I thought I was going crazy.
Let me make sure.
Yeah,
I have to fact check myself.
Stephanopoulos, George Stephanopoulos, and
was
Papadopoulos.
Papadopoulos.
I was having
Can't say it no other way. Papadopoulos.
No, Stephen Colbert has fucked up the way I say that name now. Because the way he says it on his show,
Papadopoulos.
Papadopoulos.
Oh, that's how you said it, Papadopoulos.
Yep.
What's his first name?
George,
Okay.
and then Steph. Yeah, and there's a Stephanopoulos. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking Stephanopoulos. I was like, wait a minute, hold on.
Okay, cool.
All right.
All right.
But as you were,
That's Stephanopoulos.
now that we got
that's
that,
Stephanopoulos. Okay,
now
great.
that we know the Stephanopoulos.
I know I was. I know
Papadopoulos,
I'm not the only
Yeah.
one that was thinking that.
Yeah.
Sound like it could be a group. Stephanopoulos and Papadopoulos. Anyways, as you were, sir.
Edit all those Papadopoulos out, please.
Papadopoulos.
So this dude Pop, he
Thank you.
yeah, Pop. He was actually like a strategic advisor to President Trump, right? So he wasn't a low level guy. He actually had access to him constantly, and he got drunk one night,
Oh shit.
like everybody does.
Yes.
And he went to a bar in England, and he just started talking to this Australian, and he thought this was just some regular person,
Fucking Australians.
and it wasn't.
What was
And they
that?
called the FBI, and they were like, "Hey, homeboy just said that Russia's about to mess with y'all's election."
How you call the FBI? What's the FBI's number?
I don't know. I think you can look it up on Google.
Can you?
811.
Yeah, Yelp the FBI.
That is funny. I'm gonna see if I can do that.
I bet you. Yeah, I bet you Yelp. Yeah.
Or
So he
007.
was he talking to someone important or just someone?
No, this was somebody important that actually was.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to
Right.
say the wrong thing, but this was definitely somebody in the embassy.
Got you.
This was,
And he
this
just
was-
happened to be in England and talking to this guy.
No,
Probably.
he was there on a press trip.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, no, this was a really stupid thing. And so they were like, "Hey, we got you."
Yeah. Wow.
And he came in and he lied. So what they're getting them all on is they keep lying. They could be like, "Oh yeah,
X, Y, and Z.
that's what happened," but now they're lying.
But now
And
it's
they're like, "Whatever, yeah, dude, we're gonna just throw you to the wolves.
One JF10.
So nobody has seen this guy in like a year. And they're trying to act like this is just some coffee boy that the FBI is just holding like this.
What the fuck?
Oh, FBI.
Your text call has
Oh, never mind. That's the wrong number. Go ahead. I thought that was the FBI number. Yeah, you got see, he got scared like no.
Ooh, I was like,
I was wondering what the
no.
fuck you were doing. I was like, wait a minute.
This is George Papadopoulos
This is George Papadopoulos.
again.
Papadopoulos.
So he was basically
I
just
wonder if that's copyrighted.
he was basically just giving out way too much information on a drunk night to the wrong person.
Yeah.
They took that information, did the right thing, whistle blew on him.
Exactly.
Hey, Russia's
Exact
about to
same
fuck
thing
with
that
your
this
election.
Christopher Steele did. Yeah.
But they knew that before the election, but they still are why are they still investigating? I guess they got to investigate what he said. Though.
Well, so like that's
Well, I mean,
that's
that-
the really crazy part about like everything that's going on with the Republicans. So if you watch everything that the Republicans are doing right now, and I'm going to be honest, okay, if you really study politics, if you really study it, as much as I hate to admit it, there are a lot of Republicans who are just fiscally conservative. They really think the country will be better off.
Trickling down, of course.
Well, not only that, just like if state by state, they can make their own economic plan, and they are, and this is a white privilege thing. They think that America is still this place where the dream is still completely alive. You can do
I don't
whatever.
think they think that. I think they think
No,
that.
some of them do.
I think they think it's more advantageous for the country to believe that. That's the American dream. That's what they sell us because that will keep them conservative and fiscal. Fiscal. You disagree? Okay.
No, and it's my thing is it's not because I understand why you're saying that because I really believe that too.
Okay.
Because there's a big group of people who are definitely doing that.
Right.
I'm not saying the people at the top don't, but the most important thing for me always is to remember that the people at the top really are indicative of the people who vote. Because they do really, in particular now, are giving their messages. You just got to pay attention.
And when you say indicative, because I don't know what that means, I've used it and didn't know what it means. So they're
very representative.
I think you
That's what I
used
thought.
that
Got you. And
quite
it's
a
like-
couple times on this
Yeah,
podcast.
indicative is like indicator.
Yeah.
It's an indicator of what. Got you. It's representative. Okay, I got you. Indicative.
Papadopoulos.
So
There's a
so
dick in
like-
there somewhere.
Yeah.
That's what.
So like
threw me
that's
off.
the scary thing about this past election to me. Is like, yeah, we have a guy, right, who has the best way I heard it put was 2 nights ago. A psychiatrist from Yale was talking about Trump. This is so crazy.
And this was on CNN.
Yeah, this is so crazy. They had some Democrats actually had some psychiatrists do a piece on him, like a profile, to determine if he was crazy or not and fit for office. But this one guy got up on CNN. Actually, he wasn't from Yale. He has his own firm in New York. Really respected guy. And he goes, "This is stupid. I don't understand this, debate or anything." Because they were trying to say, a lot of the Trump pundits were trying to say like, "Oh, these people have never met him. This is completely unprofessional. These are doctors," and all that bullshit. This other guy got up and he was like, "This is ridiculous because I know mentally ill people who aren't a harm to anybody. Most mentally ill people aren't even a harm to anybody. This man's just dangerous."
Yeah, you got he's in the most powerful position right now.
Yeah.
And y'all been acting like he hasn't been dangerous this whole time.
Right.
This isn't like he hasn't had rape cases dropped against him because somehow it's been settled out of court. This isn't like his
Money.
wife, his first wife, didn't say that she was raped by him. Nah, dude, it's nuts.
Yeah.
And then somehow this stuff goes away. He says really crazy stuff and hangs out with really crazy people. Jeffrey Epstein is a billionaire somehow.
Epstein.
Yeah, right? Yeah, known pedophile.
Wow. Didn't know that.
Trump's homeboy got a plane called the Lolita Express. You've heard the Lolita?
I've heard that name before. I don't know what that means.
Okay.
Peter must know what it means. He started that dying laughing as soon as he heard that
Yeah.
name.
This is for everybody listening. You got to look up Lolita. Just type in Lolita in Google. It's the first thing that's going to come up.
Expression.
Is the actual expression. I mean, is the explanation for it.
Okay.
But
Nope. Lolita Jackson came up first.
But for credibility reasons, I have to mention the Jeffrey Epstein and the Lolita Express. Other people who are tied to it.
Right.
All of our favorite Chris Tucker. Also all of our favorite Bill Clinton. So, that's a thing. But with it back to Donald, the other day, this book came out, right? So this book called Fire and Fury.
Fire and Fury, yes.
Right, yeah. Got sold out over here at River Oaks in 30 minutes. I was like, man, all these rich white people want to read this? I was so confused. But it was amazing what all came out about it, because it kind of just sheds light on the inner fighting. And it really honestly sheds light on, politics is honestly 80% a lot of BS.
80%? That's pretty low.
It might not. And this is what I was going to say back to the thing about, it's a real, transparency and the representation of the country. I've talked to a lot of people, just random people, like a lot of really random people. And that was a big part of what I had to do at first for Congressman Peters. And you just realize a lot of people don't know stuff and don't think about stuff.
Right.
You think about it like there's a lot of day-to-day things people have to deal with that are much more pressing than what their congressman is doing or what their senator is doing.
Right.
You just reap off their ignorance.
Right. And Russia realized that. That was one of the key things. I mean, that's a.
The Americans are stupid.
Yeah. Like,
I don't know what accent that was, but
I mean,
They
that was
don't
like
pay
somehow
attention.
like that.
That was bad.
yeah, we're bad. Well,
Y'all are getting kind of Middle Eastern in there.
You got to give me a second. Somehow Russian will come out, but not now.
But yeah, I mean, it is a very put one foot in front of the other society. And the problem, one of the fundamental flaws with democracy is you do have people at the top. They do influence how economic change happens.
That's where the money is.
Right. And day-to-day life is hard. It just is, and people who are in certain situations can afford to think like this all the time. College kids, young people really can. We're not necessarily paying for our lives. So, that's why you have a lot of people right now in college really trying to push for this change. But it's hard. And it's so negative in particular right now. It's so negative. So
what I want to get to, because I want to get back to like Donald, the transcript, what it's leading to, and the reason why I'm kind of like I want to make it succinct because there's been a lot of investigation talk, this, that, and the third,
right?
And I'm like, I just think we just got to get ready for the next 4 years. That's what I've been saying. I don't see impeachment coming, but it sounds from listening, it sounds like it's coming. So that's when I want to kind of like that transcript. What does that really mean in terms of possibly, getting him the fuck up out of here?
Okay, so the transcript doesn't mean necessarily a ton when it comes to getting him the fuck up out of here.
Okay. What
it means is we're not going to have to hear all this propaganda shit that's been going on, because that has actually been pretty scary. All this propaganda stuff where they're, think about it.
Well, him talking trash back and forth to the other football team country is kind of weird.
Well, not only that.
North Korea.
Yeah.
Right. But like how, that's not the propaganda part. The propaganda part is when you start saying that you can't trust the media.
Well, yeah, that was day one.
That's nuts.
Yeah, that was day one.
Yeah.
That is nuts.
Yeah.
Well, and like, that's the first thing that dictators throughout history do.
Right.
They discredit the media. Because if you don't know who you can trust, and you have this all-powerful figure, right? Well, you're going to go with all-power figure. That's what you're gonna do. It's especially if you're in a situation where you're not thinking for yourself.
Right. At least the group that he wants to continue to follow him is gonna be like, well, they're not. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I was getting at with the whole thing. But with the investigation, so like the dossier just kind of shed light on the fact that like they're not gonna be able to discredit a lot of stuff they were, because they were really throwing a lot of dirt at this dossier because it was like, oh, you know, Hillary paid for this, she should be in jail too. You know, they still saying that.
Yeah.
And now they can't say all that because actually, you know, you guys actually started this. So thank you. Thank
I
you.
didn't start. Oh, okay. I thought you were pointing. I was like, I didn't start this. I don't even know that nigga.
Yeah, for real. But no, for the investigation long term though, what all
So
of
if
this
you were to
is-
put like a time limit on.
Well, so something else happened yesterday that was really interesting. I don't know about the timetable because it is also like, because it's scope. Most of all of politics is really scope and like kind of remembering. It's kind of like life. Like remember you don't know anything at all. And like you don't know the other person's hand. Because most of the people who are talking, who served in Nixon's White House, whatever, right? They were like, we were the people doing stuff, and we didn't even know what the special investigation, the special counsel was doing at the time. We were steps back, right? And we were competent. Nixon was actually an evil genius. This dude's an idiot, and the people working for him still, for the most part, are idiots. Think about how far they're back, and then on top of that, think about how far behind we are as a general public.
So I'm kind of torn with Trump. I'm torn with thinking that he is kind of blundering in this as an idiot, and sometimes I'll kind of reserve my judgment. Like, okay, maybe he's
an idiot.
That's what I think.
Yeah. Everybody who's out here listening, you know, this was the part I was going to say. You know, CNN has to play both parts. We ain't playing both parts. He's an idiot.
No, we don't.
He's
I don't.
an
Yeah,
idiot.
we don't have to play anything. I'm just saying.
No.
Hold on, you gotta let me. But you, I get it. I get it. I
He's
get.
an
I get
idiot,
you.
man.
Okay, I get your stance. I'm like I said. Like I said, I see one side where he's kind of a blundering idiot, and then there's another side where it's like, okay, what kind of game is he playing? Because to get into the office, maybe he knew something, and like I told you about Scott Adams. Scott Adams knew he was getting in, and he etched out exactly why, and he did exactly what Scott Adams said. You know, the creator for Dilbert.
Yeah.
You can go pull him up, and he was like, nah, he's gonna win the primary, and he's gonna win the major election by a landslide. He said that 2 years before he even think it went down.
A lot of people said that. But a lot of people have
on
the
record. Who?
Hell, why do you think Breitbart is so fucking important now? Steve Bannon said that.
No, right. Well, I know.
Steve Bannon, no, that whole discredit thing.
No.
that I was talking about. That's the whole thing that's going down right now with him.
Right, but Steve Bannon had an agenda. He wanted him to win. That's like, yeah, Steve. What's his name? Steve Adams didn't even vote for Trump. He's not a Trump supporter. That's what I'm saying. That's the difference between someone who's like, I'm going for you, and versus like, I don't like this guy. This guy's an idiot. Like we're saying, and he was a hypnotist, a trained hypnotist. So he said he picked up on what he was doing. He saw the cues, things that he learned. He said, I see what he's doing, and he seeing how he was doing Jeb and all this kind of stuff, and how he was labeling people, and how it would work, and how he was escaping certain like labels they were trying to give him. He was like, no, this is what he's doing. He's doing this. He's doing that. Anytime they say that, he's going to do. And he said it. Right. And I looked at him. I thought he was crazy. So I started watching, and he did exactly that. And then after the grab him by the pussy, he said, you know, I thought he was going to win in this landslide. I didn't know that was going to happen, but he'll still win. He'll still win convincingly, and that happened. And I'm saying, and I only say that to back up when I said I try to hedge my bet of him being an idiot and him being someone who may know what he's, or at least someone around him may know what he's doing.
So to argue that, my question would be is, at this point is getting out the fact that he didn't want to be president. He didn't even want this job.
But who's that coming from? I've been seeing that.
That's a reliable source now.
Michael Wolff.
And the whole damn cabinet.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's the important part about that book.
Well,
they said she was crying when she was crying, not because she was happy. Melania. And they said Donald was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Now, the other thing though, and this is why I was saying, nope, he's stupid. No, he's stupid. Mm-hmm. I thought exactly, because I saw that guy. I saw him on TV.
Yeah.
He was on CNN, especially when the election was coming up. So I started looking him up and stuff. No, he recognized the same thing Russia did, and that's an important thing to think about. This isn't like
Steve Adams recognized the same thing.
Yeah, this isn't like, oh, Steve Adams is some genius and he just realized this. He is a genius for that.
No, I mean
he picked up on social cues.
He has a field that he may be an expert in, and
Right.
of course, when you're talking that language, it hits your ears.
Right.
So he was able to identify that. I don't consider him a genius or anything like that.
No, I'm
Right.
saying Steve Adams thing.
Right.
He picked up on very specific social cues.
Yeah.
That Russia was able to also. And all signs, forget all signs. Now everybody has, this is a thing. We've imposed sanctions because of this. This isn't like a debatable
So
thing.
what do you say? Russia picked up on that he was going to win?
They picked up on the social cues needed. See, so what you were saying was
I said,
Donald,
no, okay, I got
and
you.
that's
Yeah,
that was the point I
Right,
was going
right.
to say.
Yeah.
No, I thought the same thing. I thought because that isn't a new thing. Okay, and that's the important thing.
Right.
And that's why I was saying no. I have tried to deduce this. I don't, because you know what it honestly says is, we as American people have dumbed down to the point where we have gotten so angry and so emotional that we're willing to accept anything. And that's the scariest thing, because everybody really wants to point the finger. When it comes down to it, certain people didn't come out to vote, okay, and certain people did, and it's because certain people felt a certain way about the last 8 years. That's a big part of it.
That's what we talked about before. I think the country's just kind of like it just teeter-totters. It's a seesaw of emotion.
Right.
Ooh, Bush, put him in. Oh, hey, we're happy. Oh, black man, he's running. Then boom, it swings again.
And that's a hard thing to admit. And I really wanted to believe
for the country, or for like to my individually, it's hard to admit that it's just gonna keep swinging that way.
Individually, I think it's hard to admit when reflecting on the country, because you like to think there was a lot of progression over the years, right?
Well, yes, there has been,
but
politically,
yeah. Well, I mean, just like socially, but like socially, this was a socially reflective election. That's what's so scary about this, and the way that Russia played us, that everybody is agreeing on, is a social thing. They use social media against us. How crazy is that? They actually influenced an election by buying Facebook ads.
Yeah, which lets you know that if you want to like grow your business, that's a good way to do it.
Yeah, man.
Especially if you can influence an election. But I would say I think a lot of things have stayed the same. But I do think that we could point to a lot of different progressions and things like that. So socially, there are some groups that is just going to have to die out, and hopefully they don't pass it on to too many people. But at some point, it's going to die out to where I think there will be more progression.
Right.
I think again,
something like that's just going to take time.
Right.
Yeah, and then again, going back to the seesaw of emotion, I think that's just, I don't think that's ever going to stop, because we have a two-party system. They're trying to bring in the third, and that's where you have Bernie going. He's going to pick a side. You got Trump. He's going to pick a side. They're not traditionally anything.
No, Bernie's a socialist.
Right. So they're like,
Trump was a Democrat.
How can I win? So it's basically like the NFC and the AFC, and you playing Canada ball. You're like, okay, if I want recognition, I got to join one of these sides to really ball out.
No doubt. But just really important to remember about Trump. All this has happened. All the calling out specific groups and stuff. What I was really scared about, honestly, because the thing is he's terrible. He's always been terrible, and that's an important thing to remember.
Right.
I know a lot of it's like, okay, terrible people can still do great things technically. That's the thing, okay? He has always been terrible, and that is not to be underestimated. And that was the point that the guy was making, because he was saying, like, look, mentally ill people really do, decline over time and stuff like that. No, he's just always been like this.
Yeah.
And that's a really important thing to remember. On top of that, at first I really thought like, oh man, he is a genius. He's a genius. He played this Richard Nixon playbook to the T, especially when they started bringing up Russia. Because I thought, a lot of people don't realize Richard Nixon elongated the Vietnam War, or prolonged the Vietnam War, so that he could get elected and run a very I don't know how to put it, like covert litigation or legislation pattern while he was in his office for the first 2 years. He passed a whole bunch of things because we were still in Vietnam. Now, Lyndon B. Johnson did the same thing. The difference is Lyndon B. Johnson did it while he was president. Richard Nixon did it. Technically, he wasn't even president-elect yet, which is actually treason, right? So I thought Trump is a genius. He just looked around and he was like, oh, I can do this. I got the hookups. Like, I got the connects. I can do this.
But that doesn't sound like someone who's not trying to lose. And also, too, when I look at, I'm not trying to call Trump a genius at all, especially when, we talk about this before. I know when there's a game and they give you the rules and everyone's trying to play within those confines of the rules, and you're cheating and they don't call you when you're cheating, they let you do it, then you're going to have all these advantages.
Yep.
And then of course when people start calling you, oh, that was bright, that was genius. I always disagree with that.
Right.
Now I don't know if it's considered smart that how did you know they weren't going to blow the whistle on you, and you just kind of skating through. That kind of irritates me. Yeah, I look at him. I definitely don't see him. I don't see him as a genius, but I do see him as somebody that was trying to win. I keep hearing that, and that could. But I think that's kind of like, it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to. He lost his show. He lost a lot of shit trying to run, and it sounded like somebody that was trying to. He did a lot of unlawful things just to get in office. So when someone says, "Yeah, he really didn't want to win," I'm like, that's some bullshit.
He did lose a lot of things. Like, he lost his show and stuff. But you got to remember, Barack was only worth like a few million, right? When he got in office.
Yeah, but he's talented. He's talented though.
His book deal was $300 million, bro.
Yeah,
the stuff we're talking about is a movie.
Yeah, but Barack is super talented.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, if Barack never got president, he still would have had book deals and tour.
Yeah.
He'd been making money.
Doubt.
Yeah,
but
he's just intelligent.
Donald is a showman. You can't underestimate that one. Even if he is senile
in
and
a tragic way, yes.
And the thing I was gonna say was, now I've gone from, I was really scared he was a genius, right? To at least during the primary, because being president takes a toll on anybody. Barack was young when he got in the presidency.
I don't know what that. Barack still look good.
He still looks good.
Motherfucker look better than me. They be like, he looks old. I'm like,
nah, but I mean, compared to what he was looking like,
the gray hairs.
He was.
But how old was he when he went in?
He was, I think he was 27. He just graduated college.
Yeah, he was 27 going in.
The youngest ever.
Right.
I almost got you.
Time.
No.
He was like, wow. He graduated college late.
No, but how old is he now?
He's like 50. He might have touched 50, 55 or something like that, maybe.
Okay,
Nah,
subtract
like
that's how old he was when he went in.
I know he.
So his mid 40s, he went into the presidency.
Yeah, like 47, I want to say.
Yeah. I mean, he looked age appropriate going in.
He
looks age appropriate now.
How old is?
But the Bushes, they went in and they
can't say the Bushes.
The Bushes, they aged.
I was close. He's 56.
Okay.
He's a Leo. Donald Trump is a Gemini. His birthday is the exact same as mine.
I got the cool president with
me. Yeah.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah.
No, that's all right.
Exact same day, June 14th, Flag Day.
No.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah.
I mean,
there goes my presidential dreams.
It shows you.
No, you still got them, bro.
Yeah. Nah.
If anything, this tells you now, even you can run.
Right. Now, hopefully this election, or hopefully, Trump kind of opens our. Hopefully, it's two ways it can go. Right.
Yeah.
It could go to the point where it's like, all right, the only way to beat him is to join him. We need someone, just a celebrity as that to run. And it goes this weird direction, because now people entertain the Oprahs, people kind of entertain that.
Well, Kanye's ridiculous. Okay,
it is, but it's louder though than it would be.
It is, loud.
Right?
It's loud, but Oprah isn't a bad choice. And the thing is you got to remember, Ronald Reagan ran California for 8 years, and he was an actor, and he was only.
But at least he had
a huge actor because he turned on a bunch of other actors.
But at least, of course, yeah. But at least you're right. At least he had some type of political run a little bit before he came
to the presidency.
What'd you say?
That's going into the presidency.
Going in, right. Oprah, I mean, she knows how to run, business. That was Donald Trump thing. I run business, I make money, blah, blah, blah. But he does it in unethical ways.
And nobody really knows how much money he really got.
And nobody really knows, yeah.
Oprah, you can be like, oh, she has this diversified portfolio.
Right.
You know, she actually really knows how to run a business.
But does entertainment translate into running a country though? That's where I'll be like.
Well, and this is the thing that's really important to remember.
And she's a woman, and people got to understand women cannot run a country. I'm just joking, yo. I'm just joking. That is a joke.
Holy shit, you're trying to get us off the air.
That is a joke, guys. It's a joke.
Wow.
Of course, that's a joke.
The
No,
air just got thin.
no, that's how I know people are listening. Like, he don't like women. That's why I just wanted to say that. But
Yeah.
it
It was a joke, ladies. He was only joking.
That's like Will Smith running. I think Will Smith would have the presence and the.
They were talking about George Clooney.
See what I'm saying? They bring up these names because now
Sexist stuff.
it could go one way, or it could go.
No, yeah.
Hey, look, man, no, fuck all this celebrity shit. Let's get somebody real.
Oh, no.
So it could go one or the other. I hope it goes the left way. I'm pointing to my left, so
Yeah,
hope you guys get it.
being somebody who we can deem qualified.
Right.
I think it could go two ways. And this is, again, everything goes back to Donald. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
It is the most interesting and was the most interesting thing being a political science person going through this political cycle right now.
Right.
Because this was nuts. This was crazy. I can't say that enough. This was the craziest thing that has ever happened. I feel like, honestly, this is a movie.
Yeah.
It might not actually be the craziest thing, but because of globalization or instantaneous news or whatever, we all know what's going on all the time.
Yeah. I mean, that adds back to the transparency that Corey was talking about. Like, literally, before, like, even like we said, like when Barack was running, we didn't know the who's in the White House. We didn't know, the names of these people, or, necessarily at the moment he was writing the bill or whatever, unless they was televising it. Everything was, okay, well, this is just what he's doing. And now the shit that Donald is doing is literally
Trump
literally has been everywhere.
Yeah, he literally televised a debate, a debate on DACA today. Nobody does that.
I didn't.
This was him in the White House.
Wow.
Called a whole bunch of homies and was like, "Hey,
Wow.
come through. We're gonna act like I'm doing something."
Wow.
And that's what really what it looked like. And he had the optics and everything. 2 Democrats on side of him. It was nuts.
What the fuck?
I'm mad at the Democrats. I'm mad at the Democrats joining in. That's just like the parents of the H&M sweater guy.
Everything is in such a weird position, and that's the thing. Like, he is really. There's silver linings to all of this. Mm-hmm. I mean, I hope there's silver linings to most of life, because man, that would be hard if it wasn't. Jeez. But
nevertheless, I mean, just as interesting as all this stuff is, it is also quite. I mean, it's been the biggest entertainment I've had.
Yeah.
And the fact is, this is real life scary shit. It's also very entertaining.
I'm
not entertained by this shit.
I said, it's very true to life scary, because what I'm being entertained by is actually happening, and it's some straight up fuck shit. But as far as what I've been watching since he's got in, has been most of everything that's surrounding or talking about it.
Yeah.
Hell, we've spent countless numbers of podcasts talking about this. Like you said, we've almost beat this issue into the ground. But
I mean, this is a new event. I want to hear. I'm glad you're here to bring that up.
This is also what's happening in the world. That, well, at least over here. I mean, well, everybody else is feeling it, but damn.
Yeah.
No, it's a world indicator, because there's nationalist movements going on everywhere. But honestly, the most important thing about this, it is interesting enough. It's much more interesting than regular politics, because we're getting to see more things.
Yeah.
At a dumber level, it's more interesting, I guess you could say.
What the fuck were you doing?
Like, just much more entertaining.
Oh yeah, entertaining myself. Yeah,
you're killing it.
Yeah, it was during Harvey. Yeah, I had to entertain myself. Yeah. We just stopped the podcast to watch some shit that they can't see. It's an amazing podcast.
I'm gonna put a link to that. You posted that on your YouTube, didn't you, or your Vivo or Vimeo?
Yeah. It's on my IG.
I'm gonna link that so they can see this video. Nevertheless, man.
But yeah, so the most important thing about what's going on right now is people have to get out and vote, and I'm not talking about go get out and vote in 2020. Yeah, 2018. Okay, so like
midterm.
Yeah. And that's the crazy thing about like what's happening right now. It's like you're really seeing the worst sides of people. Alabama, a pedophile had to run for a Democrat to get the seat for the first time in 25 years.
Well, I mean,
like, that's nuts.
Was he already? Did he run before or?
He was sitting. He was the, what do you call it, incumbent?
He was a judge. No, he wasn't an incumbent.
Oh, okay.
It was a special election.
But it was a
you're
very close election. That's the scary part.
And it was like, yeah, it was. It was like 1.5%. It was still close.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Black women saved Alabama.
Black women saved Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
That's a weird narrative.
oh man, that is a weird narrative.
Yeah.
But I mean,
He's a weird guy.
it's the truth though.
No, I'm
That's
talking
really
about
what
just
happened.
just how me and Otis was kind of discussing this. But basically, Angela Rye was on Breakfast Club.
I need to watch that one.
Yeah, and she was on there, and it was great interview, of course, as always. And you know, that whole narrative, I kept seeing that online. You know, black women, black girl magic saved Alabama. I was just like, come on now,
Right.
Like, I get it, but it's like it's just weird to isolate that. And I guess sometimes the argument out there is like, no, that'll motivate them to come out. I was like, I don't think it's kind of weird to have us competing. We're on the same side.
Yeah.
90. We were 98. You were 92%, and but since we had the most turnout, we the ones that it's like, no, I don't.
Well, it wasn't even the percentage stuff.
Well,
They just
I
showed
mean-
That's what it was. It was 98% women,
Well, no,
black
yeah.
women, and 92%.
If we're running from the same side, I get it, because now it's trying to motivate, the other side to get off their ass and go vote.
No, you don't want to. No. I'm talking about.
I'm talking about amongst black women and black men. I'm not talking
Yeah,
about.
but there's always more women than men anyway.
Right. Well, I mean, shit.
But-
It's. I'm not sure it's like a haha fuck you guys. What the fuck are you doing? It's more or less like we one up you.
Why? That's what I don't get that.
It's
It's like, who gives a fuck?
It's a
And even-
little
and
slight competition deal. It's I don't
And then
think it's
and then
anything
like
major.
look, let's say you're white and you came out and you're like they taking out why you I get it, yeah.
I mean, okay, once you
spotlight it. I get it. Like, oh, look, this is what happened. These are the numbers. Black women 98, and then it's like, yeah,
Right.
see, we saved y'all, and it's like, oh my goodness, it's like, oh my goodness. Anyway,
I mean, I say let them have their little shine. Like,
yeah. Good. Well, you gotta let them. They taking it.
all right, well, shit.
Yeah.
I mean, they
Salute,
deserve
mama.
it. I'm gonna give it that. They deserve it, but they deserve it because it was a percentage. I mean, the percentage was an eyesore because it was like, who are these 8% black dudes voting for Roy Moore? First off,
That was hilarious.
Yo,
because
that's
that is an
wild.
eyesore.
So
That's not-
if he
It's
did win,
Ben
they were.
Carson and his clique.
Right, exactly. I mean, yeah, Roy Moore's rough, man.
But it is Alabama too, and you do have some of us who don't understand what side of the Confederacy they should be on. They have a black Confederate
don't know.
parade out there.
Hey, I don't know. You supporting a pedophile? I don't know what's going on with you.
Hey man,
That's the thing. I don't know. That's the
as
thing.
they understood his agenda, it's like, okay, well, fuck it. I mean, shit, we still listen to R. Kelly.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Well, R. Kelly was proven innocent.
Okay.
Do you know how he just basically said that wasn't me? Eddie Murphy, who had this? Who stole Shaggy stole the song? Yeah. What literally went on the stand and was like, wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
That wasn't me. And then the girl that went on stage, that went on the stand, she basically was saying that wasn't. She said that wasn't her either.
Yeah.
That's how he got off.
Too much pee in
Yeah.
the video to tell.
That's how he got off. But this new stuff that's coming out.
But nevertheless, we're not gonna put that aside of the fact that he did what he did, and we know exactly what the fuck he did.
I didn't see that. I don't watch child pornography.
Well,
Yeah.
You just told on yourself. We could delete this. In your best interest, Elliot.
he did what he did. We know he did what he did.
How do you know? How do you know? You saw the
I
footage?
mean, regardless if I seen the footage or not, it was
No. You can't say we know.
I didn't see
it.
I've never seen the video of him pissing on the chick. I did see
This is
some
going to
video.
an interesting place.
That's what Corey does.
No, the video that's out is the legal one.
This is
The
the
video
outside
that
one,
the
yeah.
one that he was pissing and all that. I didn't see that.
I didn't see that one.
That's child
I never
pornography.
seen that one.
So I didn't see that.
That one I've never seen.
I'm just telling you, be
The-
careful.
the
Don't
one-
be saying we know for sure. We saw because when he was with the underage girl on that video that I watched that downloaded to my computer,
No.
my IP address 7799112.
Wow. Nevertheless.
I'm trying to.
Nevertheless.
Gotta guard your words and actions. You know what I mean? This
Nevertheless.
is documentation, baby.
Chocolate Factory came out and we ran to the motherfucking store and bought that CD.
No. We didn't run. We casually went and purchased it.
Nevertheless, we bought that motherfucker.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
people still humping and bumping grind. Even
so
though
I like it's
maybe a pedophile, and that's
he's Roy
Personal
Moore is
choices.
supplying something that somebody wanted as far as Republicans, and they was going to be down for him regardless.
right. But the thing is,
And that's scary. That's scary.
Well, okay, so let's say this. Let's say I know your answer, but I'm just going to propose this as a scenario anyway.
No,
Let's say
we're not that close.
Trump is running. Let's go back. Let's go back in time. Trump's running. We know Trump's an asshole. We know what he's going to be. Trump's running, and I don't know who's running on. Let's say who was the dude? I just elected dude. I think it was John Edwards. Let's say John Edwards is running. John Edwards, right? Real thing.
John Edwards was the one that
John
cheated
Edwards,
on his wife.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, John Edwards. So let's say he's running. I'm just trying to pick a good candidate going against Trump. Boom, boom, boom.
Right.
Politics are great. Everything that we
Joe
in
Biden.
line. He's in line with everything in terms of his.
Can we use Joe Biden instead of John Edwards?
No, because he's a kind of a gaffer.
He's a gaffer.
That's going to be he's. I don't know, that's a political term. Gaff. He says
he's gonna
wrong
be like-
shit all the time.
No, Joe Biden is a good one.
No,
John Edwards would be bad.
because he cheated on his wife.
Yeah, that had cancer.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Damn, that's
Well,
right.
she-
That was.
Well, she had cancer.
Yeah.
Like my cancer
as
is
bad
wife
as
is
you get.
not
What
unanswered.
kind of? Wait.
he might do well.
But wait, what kind of cancer? No, I'm joking. No, I'm joking. No,
Cancer
don't
is
answer that.
cancer is cancer.
I'm come on, man. Don't answer that. I'm joking. So
Fuck cancer.
Let's say Joe Biden,
Yeah.
Trump, they're running, right?
Okay.
It's looking like Trump's gonna win, right? And
Holy fuck, how did this happen?
we find out that Biden did something. You can make up something.
Yeah.
The deplorable, right?
Right.
We're not even gonna say it because I don't want that. But let's say he did
Don't put
something.
that out in the universe.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Let's say he did something
horrible.
deplorable,
Right.
and we're like, would you just not go vote, or would you go vote? Would you still go vote for the one?
You have to still go vote.
Go vote. You would go vote for your political
Fill
lean?
in your own fucking name. I don't care what you do. Go vote. No, really, go vote because they're trying to make it too hard to vote, and that was another thing to look at in Alabama, and that's the thing that they don't talk about anymore. A lot of people, and that's where I was going with the progression stuff. I say stuff off a whim, but it's not unplanned or anything. So history does repeat itself. That is one thing that is important.
Especially when you don't know your history.
Right. And what's really scary, though, is the anomalies we're having with this repetition of history. Because it's supposed to be impossible to do things like change it from 12 to 2 places where you can go and get registration. Oh, my God.
That's indicative of a great podcast.
Nudge him. Nudge him.
Straight to the nuts.
Oh shit, that's hilarious. I was picking up on the mics. That's what was funny.
Yeah.
That's
No,
what's
and I
funny.
heard it. I was like, what is happening?
Oh man, that's funny.
Man, that's great.
But yeah, just get out and vote. Because, things are supposed to be.
So I do want to hear. We got time, right? I want to go into like your argument on, just voting regardless of whatever, just getting out there and vote versus, like Malcolm in the Ballad of the Bullet, where he says like his analogy was shoot when you see the whites of their eyes, meaning be specific, don't waste a shot, so to speak.
Right. Yeah.
What is your opinion to that? Like, why would you say it's still important to go out there and vote, even if there's no candidate, versus just holding back and waiting until you see the right candidate?
Because you're not exercising your voice, and there's a lack of. It's our civil duty to vote, and that's not a bullshit thing. That's that gets tossed around so much that people don't believe it. But what I was gonna say was, Oprah as president isn't a crazy thing. One, because part of the reason why I was so scared that Trump was gonna be fine was I thought, oh, he's gonna do all this crazy stuff, and he's gonna get the presidency, and he's gonna get a whole bunch of people around him who actually know what's going on. And he's gonna be like,
You thought he was gonna run it,
and be like, oh,
you thought he was gonna run it in a
y'all handle that.
efficient way, but for someone else.
look efficient. I thought he was gonna be like, "Hey, y'all got this. I'm out."
Kind of Dick Cheney it.
Yeah. Oh, big time. Big time.
Yeah.
And Mike Pence is terrifying.
Yeah.
Mike Pence is terrifying.
Yes.
He is Dick Cheney.
Yeah.
I don't think he's the smartest dick.
I think the thing is, I think Trump has more of an ego than Bush to like let Pence really do what he needs to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bush was like a
whatever. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, soft head child.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, George, you should go and play with your toys.
But he was cool with that. He was like, I like toys.
Yeah, and he was like, I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see y'all at lunch. And they were like, yeah, George, I'm gonna see you at lunch. And that was it.
Yeah.
No, I think Trump is like a mad child because they're doing things like leaking his itinerary and stuff for the day, and he doesn't get into the office until 11 a.m.
So like
leaves
with
at 6.
the Oprah part, you said you were excited about just that.
I was excited about it because you can, and so the thing is that you can go one or two ways right now. You can either match fire with fire and go celebrity for celebrity,
right?
And Trump is no doubt just a celebrity. Yeah. He's not a really that successful of a businessman. That's whatever. People can debate that, but that's
Yeah.
Is everything else other than his inflated real estate has gone bankrupt, and a lot of his real estate holdings.
That would that would be
belly up.
That would be pretty awesome if he left office, whether he got impeached or just voted out, and he had shit to go to.
Right.
That would be kind of. I usually don't root for people's downfall
because he just put his kids in charge.
Justice.
That I think yes, and I love that movie.
And he just put his kids in charge, and that's why they're still open blackmail. Because let's not forget his whole everything.
Yeah.
His kids are in charge of it.
Yeah.
And that's a whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's that's his past and how it all gets wrapped up and why he's so open for blackmail is nuts. It's just nuts. But forget about that. The reason why I think Oprah, one, is a viable choice, and two, why I would disagree with Brother Malcolm on
Ballad of the Bullet.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
One with Oprah. There's two ways it can go. Like you said, it can go. You match fire with celebrity, or you can go with Elizabeth Warren or Bernie Sanders or Joe Biden. I like Cory Booker.
That's my guy.
That's my guy.
Yeah,
I like him
for
a
sure.
lot.
He needs to get a wife though.
He does.
It's gonna be hard.
That or spell his name differently.
Like Coreigh.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, Corey. It's for me. I'll help you out. He can be my VP.
And so it can go those two ways. But if you watch anything now on the news, it's very obvious what the Trump people do when they don't like something. They just discredit it, right? They just try to throw shit at it, and it's that's the easy thing to do. This Oprah thing came out, and they were saying nice stuff about Oprah, and that's scary. They don't say nice stuff about anybody. It got so bad to the point where they started shit talking Hillary somehow. Somebody actually said, Oprah's great. She's like a saint. But you know what this really says about the Democrats? They hated Hillary to begin with because Hillary never got that type of applause. They're terrified. That is a terrifying thing because who doesn't like Oprah?
Well, I think Hillary's brand was
and
kind
I
of.
don't think you're ever gonna find any kind of dirt on an Oprah.
That's not true.
Oh,
You could these dudes, like I said,
but her dirt is out there. I mean, let's not forget.
Well, she would need to be married too, and I don't think she's trying to marry Stedman anytime soon. So she ain't gonna run for president.
I don't think she cares. I don't think that any of that matters. There's a certain crux, I think, in history where people stop giving a shit about certain things, which was quite obvious. And that's why I was gonna say, she really didn't think this was even possible. Forever, she would always be like, "Nah, there's no way I can run for president. I have no political, experience or whatever."
Yeah.
Now she's like, obviously that doesn't matter.
Right.
Look at this dude, and he's actually trying to do stuff.
Yeah.
But at least know to not do stuff. I think it could go two ways because I think everybody could get behind her, the other top Democrats, and they just be like, okay, we see what this infighting did. And it did. It split the party last election between Bernie and Hillary supporters.
Yeah.
Or we can try to go through that again and just split it and just have half of this populist movement that's going with, Oprah, or half that's just going to go with whoever is established.
I hope Oprah doesn't run. I hope because that's just I think because then it's going the wrong way. I don't want it to go that celebrity route. Because I mean she could run to get in, and then the whole aspirin to the orange juice type scenario or type analogy, and then someone else that's a little more polished can run the politics of it, and she's the face of it.
No, I feel you. I wish Corey would run. That's what I wish would run.
Yeah, and her VP should be Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah,
that would be a dope ticket.
That would work great.
Yeah,
but
maybe he should marry Elizabeth Warren.
Elizabeth Warren's optics are too much like Hillary's. Bernie, is looking crazier every day.
Yeah.
As much as I love him.
Yeah.
He's just looking nuts, and he has that stain of the last election on him.
Yeah,
I really like. Party.
Yeah, I would like to see. I would like to see Cory Booker, but is that too much? Is that another black president too soon? Probably.
That's not Oprah. Yeah, no, and that's
Oprah's not black though.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, she is, but she's not.
No. Yeah.
She's kind of. Some people transcend like that kind of thing. Yeah, like where white people love, like white women love her like she's a white woman.
What OJ thought he was.
Yes.
Oprah,
but if he didn't,
kind of gotten to that point. Well, we're gonna see if she runs.
But Oprah Oprah, even though she don't like rap, she still knows how to keep her feet in the mud. Not that black people are mud. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
She still knows how to kind of like even though we don't believe it, but I think that white people love black people, but they really love black people that are loved by black people.
Right.
Does that make sense? That white people don't love a black person that black people don't love them. They'll leave them like, we don't fuck with you.
Yeah.
But if they see that your people love you, they love you more. About the Bob Marley, you look at the Marleys, you look at the.
I think that's because white people look at what's cool and.
But take black eyed peas.
Like this black guy.
But they want to feel like, nah, I'm down too, right? A white person loving black eyed peas doesn't really do much. A white person loving Jay-Z, that's like, no, I know what really, even though they may not. But I'm talking about the feeling.
Right. No. Yeah. It's like, oh, this is a cool white dude.
Right. Like if Eminem didn't have a black fan, like if we didn't like him, like if we weren't like, no, Eminem dope. Like if you hear Wu-Tang, Redman, they would be like, yo, Eminem is for real. White people was like, yeah.
Validation would be out the window.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right. No doubt.
But I know that was top heavy political.
Yeah. Let's get to some fun stuff.
Yeah.
Actually fun stuff. Wait, hold on. Let's end on this. Mm-hmm. Everybody go out and vote. Malcolm was right at the time, no doubt.
Right.
For sure. But we've, again, gotten to a point. And Malcolm it's very important to remember he was offsetting a very different message from Dr. King.
Right.
And those are two people who are playing on each other.
Right.
That's like Du Bois and Garvey. I mean, throughout history they had that. So those are two very different voices. We don't have a very
polarizing voices for our community.
No.
Well, we got Tariq Nasheed and Dr. Umar.
Yeah, that's true.
But I know that's kind of comical.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are almost the same person anyway.
Yeah, and so they had
fight for the same space.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they had this very two very polarizing but two very offsetting messages, and that's important to realize.
And I think it was sad towards the end they realized both perspectives were important, right? Yeah. Because scope is the most important thing. And I think honestly, I know it sounds cheesy, Barack was like that medium. He was the two.
He was.
Because he
like he was cool enough, but he was quirky enough.
Well, they used to say, oh, he's like, I'm like. I know they see what I see. I see Malcolm when this motherfucker talk.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I was like, but you can't say that because Malcolm was Muslim.
Right.
So they would say Martin. I was like, nah, I see Malcolm. But he was smooth. It came off peaceful, but the rhetoric was very Malcolm. His swag was very Malcolm. I think that's what you were trying to say, or that's not trying. I think that's what you said.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I think that's what you were trying. Let me interpretate what you meant to say.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think Barack was he was both.
Yeah, he was like the perfect love child of him too.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
He was cool. He was the man.
Yeah.
Barack is the man. He still is the man.
Real quick, speaking of some fun shit, Netflix, which is my shit. I know. Anybody went on there recently?
Watch Black Mirror.
You know how they show that header of something that's coming or that's out.
Right. Mm-hmm.
see Letterman up there with
Yeah.
the big beard?
Yeah.
Did you guys watch the trailer?
No.
Go watch that trailer.
Okay. I'll watch that when I get home.
That's gonna be some great content. I think it's like once a month. And he's got like not like just like it's who he wants to talk to.
Okay, yeah. No,
And I think he has Barack coming on there, and that's I'm like, oh, and and Letterman got that big ass beard too.
Yep.
Saying what the fuck he want. Oh wow,
Just doing what he wants.
this is gonna be dope.
That
he's
is.
nuts now on Twitter.
It's gonna be dope.
Yeah,
Letterman
he's crazy as hell.
is he writing that shit?
Man,
Or
he
someone
said-
else writing? Someone
No,
else writing?
it's him. It's yeah. Apparently, David Letterman smokes a lot of weed and just chills out at the house.
Remember when
I can see that with that big beard.
Yeah.
Remember when
He
he
looked like
he's
he straight
a hippie
hippied
now.
out.
before as he was going off, he had that scandal. Someone was trying to not embezzle. What's the term when someone's trying to get something out of you? What's that term?
Extort.
Extort. Someone's trying. The chick was trying to extort him, and he was like, "Yeah, I fuck with her." I was like, "My God."
That was
And
my little side thing.
Deaded that, and he worked with her, but he hey,
Hey.
my man, I can't wait for this to come out. But anyway,
Cold. Him and Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Bill Nye Science Guy's a cool dude. I used to watch it. How you know? You too young to know about Bill Nye.
Oh man.
Trey knows all the cool shit.
I see.
Bill Nye was great.
Yeah, Bill Nye. That's when I was like 7, 8 years old. You was nowhere around.
No.
Nah, Bill Nye had a reign also. He was kind of like Mr. Bean. He expanded generations.
Yeah, he did. He came
Just like
back.
Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, he didn't expand generations though. He had one little run.
But he
rap.
still.
his
yeah.
reruns. He came back. Bill Nye has a show now.
Yeah.
But he had a
It
show
was great.
then, like before you was born for sure.
Nah.
Yeah.
That was middle school, right?
Nah.
Yeah, he had a show out too, like somewhere in the middle.
No, Bill. I'm saying
Bill Nye?
his
maybe
first
elementary.
show. His first show, he wasn't even born yet. If you're 23 now, not at all.
No.
No,
Okay.
I'm saying but they would have still known about him because he did have some show. What was it, like
I'm
Nickelodeon or something?
They had a show. No,
I'm
they did have a
17. I'm
show
17
around
years
there.
older than he is, and they were playing Bill Nye when I was before middle school.
Right.
So I know you was not even a thought.
But for him to still know,
Yeah.
they still had a show.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying he
they were
doesn't
running
know.
it back.
Right,
I'm just saying like when he first came out,
Oh, yeah.
you didn't know about that.
No.
Yeah.
Not the original.
Because I was talking about expanding generations. Because you said
Well,
Mr.
Mr.
Rogers
Mr.
came
Rogers.
out. He didn't have other shows.
Yeah.
We still know about Mr. Rogers, but now he kind of read.
Shout out to DJ Mr. Rogers.
Absolutely. But then also, but yeah, man, what else we got, man? I know we got some other shit.
We do have something quite interesting, and usually when I put stuff up on Twitter, I ask a question, and for whatever reason, I get people like fully engaged in conversation, and now it's like, did I say the wrong kind of shit? But anyways, apparently there was this live TV interview with Ginuwine, and he was being interviewed by a transgender woman. For those that need a little bit more clarification of what that is, it was a individual who was born a male who had surgery and identifies now as a woman. That's what a transgender woman is. So this person is interviewing Ginuwine, and somewhere in the middle of it,
It was a group of trans. It was a transgender panel.
it was a transgender panel.
Yeah, it was.
Okay,
the whole panel.
from what I read on BET, it sounded like it was just this one.
Did you see the clip?
No, I didn't see the clip.
I saw the clip. It was like transgender women.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll show you.
Okay, so, unknown to me, but it was the same one asking him this, would you date me, and then would you kiss me? Then he's like, no, not if you're a trans woman, I would not do that.
Yeah.
If you were a woman, yeah. And then of course, that kind of got them a little pissed off. It's like, wait a minute.
Nah,
so you're saying because I'm a trans woman, you wouldn't kiss me, you wouldn't date
Well,
me?
let me give you let me describe the video because that sounds that might be you might be reading it right, but it didn't play like that. It was all fun and games.
Okay.
Like Ginuwine actually played along way better than I would. Like I don't, for some reason he was on the set. I guess it was cold. He had like a little fur rug around him. He was kind of keeping himself cold, but he was kind of making faces when they were saying what you were saying. Like,
Right.
I even though I'm trans woman, now I'm woman, so there should be no problems now with a man wanting to do X, Y, Z.
Right.
And he said what he said. I wouldn't do that if I knew X, Y, Z. So they played along. It was a good panel. No one was like fussing or anything like that. And she put his arms around him, and he actually like leaned into her, like, kind of like, oh yeah, and then she said, give me a kiss. He said, nah, and he got up, and she kind of, and that was the end of it. But that's the clip I saw, and there was outrage about that, which is hilarious to me. but I thought it was hilarious, but that's a thing. Like, people like, that you're supposed to look at them as a woman, and that's actually disrespectful now, or not on this, or
Yes, it's called you're being transphobic.
Yeah.
You're being you're being transphobic if you don't want to have sex with a man that's now identifying or made a transition into a trans woman.
Right.
That's crazy.
That is absolutely baffling to me.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, so there was one person in my comments that was like, because the question I asked was, well, if Ginuwine isn't gay, then why would he want to? Meaning that he's understanding.
Yeah, you're missing out because the trans community,
right,
and people who were okay.
Yeah, I get that.
My
I get that.
My bad.
But with Ginuwine knowing that this person was once a man and him still looking at this person as a man,
Yeah.
If he isn't gay, if he doesn't feel like he's gay,
Yeah.
I don't see him thinking that this is what I want to do, because under this it's still a man.
Right, but you understand what the trans community.
I understand what they're saying.
They're saying, no, that's a woman now.
That's a woman
no,
now.
that's a woman. And if you don't want to have sex with them or you can't kiss them, then something's wrong with you.
Right.
And you're being transphobic.
Right. I hear what they're saying.
No. What we need to do. We just need to be like, yeah, we're transphobic. That's it. We just be like, yeah, we're transphobic. If that's your definition of transphobic, then yes, we are. Because what Lil Duval said, I mean, I think he might have went too far with the killing, but in my opinion, in terms of an emotional reaction, he didn't go too far.
What did he say?
Basically, they said if a trans woman, if you had sex with a woman and you found out later she was a trans woman, he was like, I'd kill that bitch, or I think it was something to that effect.
Yeah, that's what he said. He was like, I'll kill that bitch.
And emotionally, I understand that. Right. But I mean, if sometimes things that you want to say, you can't really. I get it. You can't say that because that sounds like a hate crime, but I don't think that is. That's just because to me, in my personal opinion, that's rape, right? Because if there was if your girlfriend, right? Let's say that sounds weird. Let's say I happen to be in your bedroom and it's dark, and your girl comes in and she thinks I'm you, and I know she thinks I'm you. And I allow her to have sex with me. She's consensual about it because she thinks I'm you, and she finds out later it's me. That's rape.
Yeah.
So if
lights come on.
Yeah. So
shit.
So if it's a trans, if you're a woman but you used to be a man, and I'm not okay with that. I don't care if it's transphobic.
Right.
If I'm not okay with that, you don't let me know, and I find out later you're a woman. I can't kill you, obviously, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right. That's against the law. That should be rape because I didn't consent to having sex with a transition woman.
I agree with you up until the rape part, because I mean, just like from a legal, I understand. I agree with you for a different reason. I guess
it's not a law. I'm not saying that's a law. Right. I'm saying that should be.
Well, I'm just saying
based on how other rapists.
But I'm saying like how you posed it.
Okay.
It's rape. In the sense that you said, if his girlfriend walked in or whatever, and then and you had sex with her, knowing that you thought or she thought that you were her or him. Yeah. Because that is a person not knowing who they're having sex with. Period. But then at that point you're arguing like, oh, it should be considered rape because this person didn't know the prior gender of the person. Yeah, which is like
because I'm not okay with that.
But that's a personal thing.
Well, that's also called swindling too.
Yeah, but that's a personal thing that she has. That's a personal thing she didn't want to have sex with me.
Yeah, but they're not.
The only difference is
you know what I'm saying?
The only difference is why not?
Because you have to disclose things like having AIDS, or you have to disclose things like having herpes.
Having sex with a man?
Not a man anymore.
Yeah, well, but you see, what I'm saying?
Part to remember.
No, the important part to remember is that they have the law that says that. There's no law saying that that's rape. There's no law that no one cares about what we think no more.
There's a lot of laws about rape. And see, that's a hard
But
thing.
that's not there yet. But when it's there,
Well,
then
the
I'm
fact,
right.
the fact that if
I
you
could
were
fight
to
for that to be
mistakenly
rape.
Yeah,
have
that's not
sex
gonna
with a
be
transgender woman unknowingly, and that not being rape, that's not in there.
Okay,
But
well then fuck it. Then you know what? I'm with Lil Duval.
No.
I'm with Lil Duval then. Fuck
And it's
it.
okay. And that's what I was about to say. That's why I agree with you at the same time.
Yeah.
What I think is important for everybody to remember is, as much as trans people or gay people, whoever it is, want to be respected.
But they also got to understand that they also have to respect the person that they're trying to approach or engage
But
with.
let's be clear. Most do. It's not from my knowledge. They don't. They let
Most
you
do.
know.
Right.
Yeah.
Or I've never been in that situation. Someone goes, "Hey, I'm this or that," but I'm saying like when I hear most of them talk, they go, "Yeah, I'll let them know what's going on X, Y, and Z. I did let him know." Blah 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 blah.
Right.
I'm fine with that. Give them the option to because that's no man is gonna feel good about themselves. They found they had sex with a transition woman.
Right.
Because they go
Because
because what you said because what you said, that's a personal problem, right? And it's only personal because there's no law defending how I feel, right? Because that's all this is feelings.
Yeah, but you got to remember that's how a lot of white people used to feel about black folks. And
About
there were
what?
laws
About
anything.
yeah,
Us-
okay,
us
okay.
fucking
So let's say this. Let's say this.
stuff we normally do now. Right?
No,
Us
that's
being in
not
the same place.
no, that's not the same thing because
How?
okay, well, will you explain what you mean first? Because I'm not clear what you mean.
Okay, trans people,
Yeah.
right? As this is a fundamental thing,
Right.
They truly, honestly, I mean, this is forget how you feel about it or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
What they say is they believe that they were born a certain gender,
Right.
right?
And that
does
that's
not
now
match.
the cis
That does not match with the genitalia they were born
or
with,
cis,
right?
whatever it is.
Okay. Certain racist white people today, back in the day, when we were brought here, right? They said that, well, you were born that way, whatever. You're inferior. We're saying essentially that this is a mental.
But see how you're struggling. You're struggling because it's
No,
just
I'm
color,
trying to-
and then I identify as a white man with great credit,
Okay.
right? So when I try to go get a bank loan, and if they deny it, they're not going to change that because of how I feel.
I'm struggling because I don't want to pose it in such a simplistic way because this is a very intricate thing.
It's very complex.
Yeah,
That-
and
'cause it's-
I honestly think the way you're describing it is too simplistic, and I think you're not taking into consideration the years and years of degradation that happened not only to our community but other minority communities.
Wait. No,
That's tough.
I am considering the degradation of our community.
Okay,
So
but
to compare it to
10 years ago,
transgender.
10 years ago, people were saying the same thing about gay people, and
No, that's to me that's different. To me, just
How?
being gay, it has nothing to do with me. A guy or a girl being gay has nothing to do with me. Now, if you go,
What about bisexuality?
if you go transgender, that can have something to do with the opposite sex because going back to what you said, but that's already a law because you may have if you have a disease, right, that you may be prone to. But other than that, I don't. If you're gay, that has zero to do with me.
Right, because you're
Zero
you're
at
still,
all.
You're still recognizing you're a man, and you're only wanting gay.
That
men.
being gay has zero to do with me. Now, when you're talking about transgender and you look like something that
I'm attracted to.
that I may be attracted to, and you're trying to look like that, and that's not how you were made,
right.
then now that has something to do with me.
I understand.
So
that.
when it has something to do with me, I feel, because right now it's all about feelings because there's no law for how I feel.
Right.
Once there is a law about how I feel, then that's a real thing. And that's all I'm fighting. I'm like, hey, when I said rape, I know that's not really rape.
No,
I'm just
I
saying
understand.
how I feel is like, because that's
Yeah,
because
how you feel is like you.
because you said that's
it
a
was-
personal problem. I was like, okay, well, you thinking that you were having sex with Ellie? Shit. What's the difference? Blah, blah, blah. That's a personal problem. You didn't want to have sex with me, and blah blah.
Right.
That would be some bullshit. And no one would even go. No one would even argue to that girl. Like, well, you had a good time. You were consensual. You were moaning, and we heard you.
Right.
No one would do that to her. So like, if someone they shouldn't do that to me, even though it's a personal thing. Like, yeah, I don't want to have sex with a man who now
Identifies
went
as a woman.
and got her body carved up to be a woman.
right.
And I know you're not disagreeing with me. We're arguing like semantics of it.
Yeah, and it's just like I understand them wanting to be called woman, her, she. You know, instead
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
I'm identified as that.
I can call Caitlyn her. I can call whomever is this now woman.
Yeah.
I have no issue with calling them a her.
Right.
The issue would then fall into me understanding that you are now a her versus was a him.
Yeah, I do not. I would not like to have sex with a man that's now a woman, a trans woman that we would call a woman.
No, same. But it's personal. I think it's honestly just personal opinion. And the reason why,
it's not like to me saying it's the same. It's like saying I don't want to have sex with a white woman.
I think it's the same because of this, and I think you made your own point.
Having sex with a white woman. I don't want to have sex with a white woman is the same as saying I don't want to have sex with a man that's now a woman.
Right. Well, I think it's the same because of what you said.
No,
because you said
that's
yourself.
Because now you're separating you're separating women in that sense. You're not just saying, okay, I like black women, Puerto Rican women, Hispanic women, Now I don't see myself dating a white woman or this kind of woman or that kind of woman. You're separating what's still a woman versus saying my preference isn't, a trans woman versus a woman that could possibly give birth.
Right.
I'm
not. Yeah, y'all are missing what I'm arguing on. I'm not arguing on any of that. Like, again, I agree with those, with most of what y'all are saying.
Right.
All I'm arguing is that, I guess I'm saying don't blow things out of proportion. Because it's important to realize that
I don't think they recognize the proportion of it. I don't think they recognize that could be very traumatic to a dude who have sex with them. What if you don't? Like I said,
what movie was that?
Okay.
Where the guy was so convinced that the guy that was in there with him, it was the gay guy that had the wig on. I think this was Atlanta. This was a scene off of Atlanta.
Was in jail?
Yeah. And then he found out that it was a guy. He was like.
Right. Kind of. Yeah. And he looked. They made him look a little mentally ill, and he's probably just in denial or something like that. But maybe But yeah.
I was saying about like you made your point. The point I was trying to make, you basically made it for yourself. Was that you said like it's not the majority. This is very, 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 very few cases that people are having sex with transgender women and coming out to find that they aren't women. Okay. Mm-hmm. You can't make a rule or try to state something based on the minority, and that's just my opinion. Because a lot of people used to say stuff about a bunch of minorities, right? General minorities of bigger groups. I'm not saying like minorities like black people or stuff. I'm saying they would talk about minorities of bigger groups.
I think the majority. I think there's a majority of men who do not want to have sex with a transition woman.
And to add to that, I mean, I would feel like that. I mean, if picture yourself in that situation, you would want that person to get the Weinstein, ringer, because shit, you didn't know that you didn't know the situation.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. I don't know. I guess this is a personal thing. Because,
that's my point. But there's no defense for that.
Yeah.
Other than like. Because legally now you can get us because now you don't even have to identify as a woman. You can be like, yo, I just want to have sex with men.
No, and what I was going to say,
right? I want to have sex with men. Let me go get this changed. I like men. Why I look like a man trying to get men? Why I don't look like this woman and go get men? And you may not even identify as a woman, but you just like men. But you're gonna go with that, and it's just whack.
Right. To me, and it's also a case by case scenario. For the most part, I mean, kind of like how we started this conversation. For the most part, most of them do let you know what's up.
And that's the point I was making.
Right. And
I'm saying there was a minority who's not letting you know and is actually trying to be deceptive.
Yeah. No, but I was saying that too.
And you can't project on the majority just because the minority is over here.
No, I'm strictly talking about the one who would not say shit.
Oh yeah.
That's my whole point. I said that earlier. I said, look, from what I've heard, mostly they go, no, I let him know. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. If you let me know, then I go like, nah, I'm not even gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not even gonna be mad. I'm not gonna shit on you. I'm not gonna try to do nothing. If you do trans, I'll whatever you want. Blah blah blah. I'm asking for you to tell me that because I do not want to have sex with a trans woman.
Right.
You may be offended by that, but I'm offended when a girl goes, "You're too short." But that doesn't mean that I should be
I'm offended by them being offended by me feeling that way. You know.
Right. That's a good way. I like that. I like.
Yeah, and that's the thing. People should just have the space to have their own damn feelings. Like, and that was the real thing that I was gonna get to. Like, that's why I agreed and disagreed. Like, I thought you were saying
you
like,
disagree with the law part of
right? Yeah, and I was saying like, oh, this rape thing. Like, yeah, okay, but you got to remember, like, a lot of people were walking in on black dudes having sex with their daughters, and were like, nope, not happening. Or some people, in actual defense, okay, had very racist, biased views because terrible things happen to family members at the hands of different minorities, right? That's an actual thing.
Yeah, okay? It happens both ways.
Right. And that actually is more in defense of what you were saying. Like, somebody completely betrays your trust, you think this is a woman, it turns out that it didn't used to be a woman, and you feel like that is just complete betrayal, right?
That could be, I think that could be devastating to a lot of men. Right. I know that would be devastating to me. That's why Lil Duval said, "I will kill a motherfucker." Yeah, because you taking my manhood.
Right.
And I don't care what you say. I get you, and we're trying to give you that. No, but I'm sorry.
And but I'm saying I understand that.
Right.
I do understand that because people should have the right to feel how they feel. You can't.
But not only
their feelings.
But Trey, not only feel that way because that doesn't mean shit, right? I'm talking about.
There should be some kind of
there should be something in place.
Yeah, but see, the problem is that you want a law based on how you feel, and that's how
it all starts.
No, because they feel even more strongly than you do.
If a woman,
they feel more strongly than you do about what you're talking about. This is their entire life, and think about this.
No, because
forget about being ridiculed because oh man, like I fucked a person who used to be a dude or whatever, and nobody else is even gonna know that. People don't give a shit about other people's lives. That's a very this is a huge misconception. Nobody else would know.
That's not true.
Well, depending on how how you're going about it, like people know about the David Letterman. You went the David Letterman way, like
who's gonna know?
People know. People can know you.
But we're not David Letterman. Who is gonna know if you went on Tinder right now, right? Okay. Ended up having sex with somebody. Found out they were a man later. Yeah. You didn't tell anybody. Who's gonna know?
But let's.
You want to kill somebody because of that?
No, but let's say. Hold on. Let me say this. But let me say this. Let's say a woman gets raped in an alley. She doesn't tell nobody.
You were talking about forcible things as opposed to what you perceived. And this is the important part.
See,
you feel really strongly.
We're not going to agree on this.
You feel really strongly about this, right? About them.
My point was, I know.
Prior work, right? You know now. Okay.
What's the difference?
This person.
And by no means am I comparing an experience of consensual sex with forced rape. That's not my point.
Okay.
But let's say
about to say that was where
that's not what I'm doing. And if someone's thinking that, I apologize. That's not what I'm saying. Okay. What I'm saying is the feeling of just trying to keep something because you're saying, oh, well, no one knows what's the big deal. That's not my point.
That even. But you were making this thing on shame. You were putting this shame thing out. Okay. Think about how we're even.
Who is that shaming?
No. I'm saying somebody made a comment on this traumatic experience.
Yes.
Okay.
I said that.
This traumatic experience. Okay. My thing is, we're having this conversation about this is a huge group of people at this point. This isn't like a small group of people we're talking about right now. We're having this conversation about a large group of people who aren't even represented here, right? First off, they have to identify themselves in society as something that they don't even see themselves as. You have to remember the psychological part of being a transgender man or woman. They honestly do not believe that they were born the right sex. They just believe that they were born with different genitalia.
Right.
And they just took the necessary means to have the right genitalia. That's it. So you trying to impose your feelings, as valid as they may be.
You keep saying impose.
No, I'm just saying.
What do you mean impose? You were born with dick and balls. I'm not imposing that. That's what's there. I'm not imposing that.
Right.
That's what's there. And I'm not imposing it if you got to go get knifed up to get it taken away. I'm not imposing that.
But you fuck people, or you might, I'm not saying you necessarily, but people fuck people. People fuck Nicki Minaj. She's all knifed up. Okay. People fuck Cardi. People think that these are sex symbols.
Still a woman.
They're all knifed up.
Still a woman.
Okay.
She didn't get her genitalia messed
Right.
up.
But to add to what he's saying, I understand what he's stating a little bit more. Like at birth or through your childhood, through the moment you're able to understand who and what you are, until you are able to do something about it, you've always thought you were the opposite.
I understand that.
And I know you get that. I know you get that. So now to close that, because we've been going in on this one in a minute.
What I'm saying is the word impose. I think they're imposing I'm a woman on me versus me imposing I don't want to have sex with you.
Right.
And like that, because I feel like that, and that could be it don't matter because you're a small amount. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean shit. That's
right. And I understand that. I understand, but he's also mentioning the psychological part of it that they're going through.
You're explaining something I get. He's saying I get that part. That's why I accept them calling them.
But them also not telling you the backstory of what they had to go through to be who it is that you see today.
Exactly.
That part is now it makes everything that happened unconsensual. So to add to what you're saying, I understand you wanting to declare it as rape, or it could just be called unconsensual sex at this point, because what happened was you thought you were having sex with a woman this whole time, but
a natural born woman.
A natural born woman.
Right.
Okay. A natural born woman, not someone who went through life identifying as a woman or knew that, however you want to declare it.
Right.
Okay. But if you were born with a male genitalia and you had to somehow have a transition to now be who you think you are or who you know you are, however you, yet again, don't get upset at me on that one.
Right.
But if you didn't tell somebody that this is what it was, and then you had sex with this person, and then you decided to tell them, I understand there needing to be a repercussion, because now what happened makes it unconsensual. Yes, at the moment in time when I thought I was having sex with a natural born woman who was born a woman and identified as a woman and didn't have to get, snipped to be a woman, when I thought I was having that moment, and now you're telling me that no, that wasn't the case, you can keep boning me, but ain't nothing gonna happen. Because there's no reproductive system.
But I'm not even worried about the kids and like that.
No. I know you. I know that, but it's the fact that you're not a natural born woman. In my mind, you're not a natural born woman. You weren't born with the female parts. You weren't.
I mean, in my mind, the reason why, because it's not a woman to me.
Yeah.
And that's not, and I'm not supposed to say that.
And no, but that's the important part.
That I'm not supposed to say that, but I can't say that because what they identify with. I'm like, yeah, I just know what you. That's just like
you can say that. No, I don't understand that. See, that's where this PC shit gets.
But this is the whole point. Mm-hmm. Ginuwine was mad cool. Like if you watch the clip, he was mad cool playing around. He was there. He was like, yo, he's good. She tried to kiss him. He didn't even try to smack her. He just was like, nah, I'm good.
Hold on, yeah.
And he caught flack for that. And that's what I'm saying. That's when I said I can't say that. I know I can say that, but I know me going, okay, I don't. When it comes to that, I don't identify with
there's
womanhood.
Nothing wrong with that.
Right.
As much as defended every position, right? I would still say there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with what you just said. So that's just what you think.
So me not identifying them sexually as a woman, right? Like to have sex with them as a woman, and then they keep that to themselves, knowing that may be a what do you call it? Not a turn off, but a breaker. What do you call it? Something breaker.
Deal breaker.
Deal break. Thank y'all. Yeah, which may be the deal breaker, and they keep it to themselves. They know why they keep it to themselves.
Right.
And I want to give the analogy as a disease, but I can't because that's something that you keep.
Right.
But let's say you have herpes, but you don't get it, but you were having consensual sex. That's some fucked up shit.
Right.
Now if you get it, you probably can maybe press charges. But I think even if you don't get it, you still should be able to press charges.
Right. Yeah, I think you still can.
If you knowingly did it.
No, you still can. And see, that's the difference. But like, you know, just because somebody's transsexual, you know, you're not gonna nothing's
Yeah,
gonna happen to you.
and to add back to your
Because
point,
there's no law in place for
Well, no, there's
that
no
little-
sexual. I mean, like you're not about to get any disease that you couldn't get from a.
Oh no. I wasn't. I'm not worried about disease. It had nothing to do with disease and reproductive system.
right.
Well, and the thing is, and the real thing is, law is not made based on how people feel. And that's the thing, and that's the important
Yes,
part.
it is. This whole law, this transgender thing that's passed.
No, it's not.
That's
Not how laws pass.
Wait.
There's
So
a system of checks and balances. It doesn't
how
matter how
are
the
they?
people
Is
feel.
That's not a lawful. It's not a lawful thing that we have to call them trans women or consider them women.
No, that's a up to them type of thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know, you fill out your government papers how you want to.
Right. But I mean, in terms of, black people, black people felt like they needed equality.
Well,
Right.
just
Right?
like it's
So
not
there was
a law-
laws passed to support that.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, that was based on how we felt.
Just
Well,
like
so
it's
it's-
not a,
No, they have all. Oh, that's the point exactly that I was about to make. Is
just
that-
like it's not a law for them to call us nigga, but we understand that you shouldn't be doing that. It's the same.
No, that is a law.
Yeah,
No,
I was gonna
these
say
are
that.
laws.
Yeah, that's
no.
all-
And what I was about to say was
Okay.
no. Literally, what you're describing
Right.
is against the law, and that's the problem with what Lil Duval said. That's hate speech.
No, but
saying nigga fuck. No,
so you're kind of going. That's what I'm saying. You're contradicting yourself. You said there's no law based upon how people feel.
No,
And
there's
that sounds
no
confusing.
there's no law based upon how people feel, because this isn't a law based upon how people feel. This is a psychiatric thing you're talking about now,
Gotcha.
right? Okay, so
Right.
just like being
But
gay,
there are laws passed on how people feel.
like what?
Well, just like equality. Like
That's not how people feel. That's the fact that
black people didn't want equality.
no, that is the fact that the Constitution says that all men are created equal, and then we had an amendment afterwards,
Right, but
that
they-
said that
but
actually
before
people were
that-
actually created equal, even though it was a 2/3. Yeah, no, I understand how all that worked, but amendments happen, saying, "Oh, you know what? We fucked up."
Yeah.
Okay, so the gay,
But they didn't realize that people they were expressing their feelings.
that's not just people, but there's a
You
okay,
see what I'm saying?
that's a very
That's simple. That's a feel. We feel we should be equal.
right.
USA,
but again, a lot
and
of
you
people
fight for
feel
that.
niggas should still be in chains, and I mean I hate to say stuff like that.
They feel like that, right? They didn't
Right.
pass that law, but black people felt like they
But that
should
was a
be
law.
equal
But again, that was a law.
because
And
they felt like that. So that's what I'm saying. You
But I
contradicting
can't-
yourself. Like
No.
that's
I'm
feeling.
not contradicting myself, and that was the main point I was making. That's the dangerous part of getting into what we're talking about right now.
Okay.
Is that trying to relate things like somebody raping somebody,
Right.
or somebody not disclosing they have herpes,
Right.
as to somebody not
disclosing
disclosing
whether or not they're a man or were a man.
that they didn't even
Or
identify
that-
with.
that wasn't- probably
because
wasn't
you
a law
keep
at
using
first.
the word natural woman, right?
Okay. Is that
Okay?
wrong? Wait, is that wrong?
No.
Okay.
No, that's not.
I just want to identify the
no,
difference.
But verbiage is very important.
Okay.
Okay. Natural woman, to them, hell, they a natural woman. They were born a woman with the wrong genitalia. You're just missing on that part, because it's a crucial part to
Right.
us, because we're men
Yeah.
who like women as we see them naturally born.
Now,
And that's why I brought up the
Hard
whole.
to get pie.
so if you're born with male genitalia, you can still be considered natural woman.
This is the thing though. See, we're trying to talk through this like we're gonna get this. Like actually, we're gonna get this. I don't get this shit. I'm acting like I get
But
it.
that's
I
not
don't
what
get
you're
this
saying,
shit.
though. That's not what you're saying, Trey.
No,
You're
because you
talking
still haven't
from-
let me got to this point.
Okay.
And I think you're just like roadblocking it because it's such a hard topic, right? It's like
I've probably thought about this more than anybody.
okay, well, this is what I get down to. Again, we don't know shit. You don't know how the fuck these people feel. You don't know how the fuck these people feel. There was a bunch of people saying niggas shouldn't be running loose because they out here raping our women, taking us away. We
Breaking
can't
in drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Raping and
birth of-
drugs,
yeah, birth of
keeping
a
them all
nation.
this jive
I know,
shit. And
Right. But we didn't feel that way.
we didn't feel that way.
Right.
We were just, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Hell, what are you even
So,
talking
yeah,
about? We're
right.
just out here just doing the exact same thing everybody else is doing.
Right.
We were literally born this way. This is a psychiatric thing, and I am not a doctor. There is no fucking way I'm a doctor. And there are people way smarter than me, who say that this is a validated way to feel. And this is the exact same argument as gay folks. The exact same argument, whether they were born this way or choose to be this way. This is the exact same argument that we were having 10, 15 years ago. And so I feel like...
But the thing is, with gay to me is that's an instinct. I don't think that's, like I said, I think that's something that, whatever your urge, of course it's case by case. Some people may be like, I can't get any girls, let me just go after whatever it is, or they just grow up around whatever. But I think the natural gay, use that again, I think it's an instinct. You don't choose to like anything, it's just what you like, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's normal to me, because that's actually in nature. There's gay birds and dogs and gay lions and all that. That's just a natural thing. But I don't know if in nature, well, we will never know this. I ain't even gonna say it.
Yeah, we can't.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, but
maybe.
to
like if there was a lion with no mane, it goes, nah, I'm a man.
I'm a ride against some rocks.
But to add to what he's saying, a trans woman doesn't feel that they're gay because they feel that they're a woman.
You keep explaining what I no, that's not what I understand the principle of all.
Right.
So you're explaining what I know.
Right.
Where we're disagreeing is the feeling part.
Right.
And the whole
feeling validate law. And my thing is, I don't think you can invalidate other people's feelings.
I don't think you're
which is why you can't validate.
What I think where our disconnect is, I don't think you can go into a court of law and go, this is how I feel, and they go, that's a law.
Right.
But my point is, feelings, how you feel is what you fight for, and you can pass that law. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
I don't think you just go,
I
don't go to court and go, I feel this way, judge. They go, that's how you feel? Yeah. Guilty. I'm not dumb.
Right.
I get that.
Of course
And
not.
actually, yeah, and that's kind of what I was saying.
You thought I was dumb. Trey thought I was dumb the whole time.
No.
Damn it, Trey.
No, I wasn't going with that. But Jesus, it would be boring if we just agreed on everything.
But and you got something else?
I got something in my teeth.
No, you got something else. The hoodie, man. The
the H&M deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was there was this winter campaign, or a hoodie campaign that they had, and they had
hoodies be getting us fucked up,
bruh. Anyways, they had this little hoodies that would say these different things, and they had one little white kid talking about survival expert. They had another white kid with something really cool on there, and then they had a black kid, a very dark-skinned black kid, that said coolest monkey in the jungle. Well, as far as racist comments are concerned, they used to call us monkeys back then.
Porch monkeys,
and now that he is wearing this coolest monkey in the jungle sweater, it's y'all fucked up, Yeah.
So what y'all think? What y'all think about this? What you think about H&M? What you think about the outrage?
I mean, I want to say it's justified because you're putting monkey on, like, everybody else got like these really cool sayings. How come he couldn't get the survival expert, and then the little redhead white guy get the coolest monkey in the jungle?
Right. What you think, Trey?
I don't know, man. But that was some dumbass shit. The
way you answer that, I think you on my wavelength, right?
Yeah.
So I think the reaction is justified, and I think it's actually probably a good thing, right? Mm-hmm. Because come on, chill. So it's one of two things. No matter which way it went, the reaction's good. So if you were being racist on purpose, it needs to have that reaction.
Right.
If someone was clueless, and I know people, how can it pass through? I was like, look, man, it's probably like one person who came up with the campaigns, all the sayings. They went on the sweatshirts. People that came up with it probably weren't on the shoot.
Had nothing to do with the shoot.
Had nothing to do with the shoot. It was probably just a roller of hangers. This is me imagining them being ignorant.
That
right?
green looked good on that black kid.
I think I said this exactly. See, I told you. I knew you. The way you answered, I knew you. So then they go, oh, put this on. That's because that's a good on for his complexion. The little boy looks dope. Fly little dude.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So up there, he just got the wrong person, gave him the wrong sweatshirt.
Yep.
I don't know if the parents caught it or not. If they were paying attention, they probably just looking like, yeah, he's cool. They probably far away. Who knows?
He getting paid.
This is the ignorant defense, right?
Right.
They did that. Marketing is not huge. It's probably a few people that came up with it. The set people, it depends on who was on set. Probably a foreign photographer, right? Just like remember who was the dude played for the OKC that said it's tough to chase these little monkeys around. You remember that?
What the fuck? No.
You don't remember that?
No.
Stephen Campbell.
No, Adams.
Steven Adams.
Yeah, damn, it's a bunch of Steve Adams.
Steven Adams.
Again.
Okay.
So the center for OKC, just when they come off of pick and rolls, a lot of times they try to put a big man. If it's a point guard, he tries to have his big man pick his guy, so that way he has a mismatch to get to the hole, right?
Right.
So a lot of times, I forgot who they were playing. I think it was like Golden State or something like that. Just with some quick point guards. And they kept doing that to him, but he was doing a pretty good job. And they interviewed him after the game, and he was like, "Yeah, it was this credible, whatever. There's a bunch of quick little monkeys running around." But he said it from an innocent.
Yeah, like he was trying to be like,
Well, yeah,
because monkeys are fast as shit.
yeah.
And they were quick, and he was like, "Trying to guard these little monkeys," but they were like, "Yo, you
call
can't."
those monkeys, yo, you can't do that.
And
Plus, he's from New Zealand, and like that's a whole other deal.
He didn't understand it.
Yeah.
So
he was. That's a totally different cultural
right,
thing.
exactly. So I think it's cultural, but also I think there's a generation, right? And this is why I think nigga gets thrown around irresponsibly because it's so stretched away from what we were talking about, and them squishing up like pork fat and fucking entrails and cornmeal, and then slave stuffing it in your mouth, or they breaking your teeth and putting a funnel in your mouth and feeding it when they was calling you nigga. All that's so far removed now to where that word is getting used so irresponsibly, where people, you'll see Asian kids, white kids saying it to themselves, and they looking at us confused, like, why the fuck are you mad that I'm saying this shit? Because they don't understand the history to it, right? So I think for the ignorant case, I think it is possible for it to go through the 10, 12 people that it went through. Not even mentioning his black parents.
And white privilege is a thing. Like, it's not like people didn't just make that up.
Right.
That's not most theories have some basis.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a thing. It's very possible that it went through a lot of hands.
Right.
And then it got out to the general public. It's more of a commentary at that point that, like, there's no black folks whose hands this was going through. Obviously.
Actually, it could have been some black. It could have been a younger black person. Either he didn't have the balls to speak up, or just didn't understand the power of what that meant, right? So, okay, we over the ignorant theory, right? The other theory is
somebody should have seen it and should have checked them.
No, the other theory is somebody's like, we're gonna get these niggers.
Yeah.
Watch this.
One of these little monkey ass looking
motherfuckers. Oh, look at that! Put it on that monkey looking guy that'll really sell this shirt subliminally. Somebody that had a mastermind, which I really don't think, but
it's more entertaining, I think.
That's what everyone. That's how everyone's reacting though, and I'm like,
because stuff is so crazy right now. You can't really react any other way.
More along the lines of what you guys were saying, I do believe it was a situation where they looked at him. Okay, this green is gonna go good. Okay,
something. I know people probably listening like, "Oh, dumb motherfuckers."
But then the crazy part is when somebody previews these photos. How did they not say, like, hey, you may want us to digitally change the wording on this?
Well, how? They didn't get it. That wasn't an epithet to them. They know it. They know nigga. Don't put nigga on there. Ain't the coolest nigga in the jungle. Monkey. Whatever. That's the line. They probably, like I said, someone coming up. I don't know. That's just the ignorant part.
Right. But okay.
You're saying how?
I guess to me, I'm seeing it like, it's not like, hey, Corey, I'm giving you the models to shoot and you pass me the photos and we're on the same thought process. It's a photographers got hired through this marketing firm to do this campaign. Yeah. These photos now have to go back to the marketing firm to get, approved before they get put out.
Do you think the marketing firm is like 20 people looking at it and going analyzing, or you think it's just like 2 people going, great picture, great, no blemishes, no wrinkles,
but at the same time I understand what it takes to edit these photos, so this is what you see. It ain't like it was real quick, boom, okay, shoot it out there.
But who is looking? But my thing is, I think everyone thinks it's like the whole H&M is looking at this.
No, I don't think it's the whole H&M, but
like 5 people probably.
It's still it's going through the photographer. So now you've gotten one person, whomever else could have been there. Yep. The parents, they did see it, maybe they didn't.
Right.
Okay, so you got that group of people.
Yep.
Then you got the person that's either, hopefully they're doing it over email, so you won't have to bring a person to bring it to point A to point B. So let's say they're shooting it over email. Then you got the 2 people that's doing the design,
the editing. Yeah,
that's another 2 to add to this. Like, how did somebody not catch it?
But this is my thing. I'm surprised why people are so surprised that it could. People aren't. I don't think there's a generation that doesn't know that monkey is epithet to black people. Am I wrong?
No, I think
there's a generation that doesn't. I understand that very well.
Right.
I understand. Monk. I hear monkey. It rings my ear.
Yeah. I'm
just saying that it's not surprising to me that and probably marketing H&M is a young company. It's probably a young group of mark. I'm thinking that I'm pretty sure if they saw the epithet, they wouldn't go, yeah, that's fine to let it go.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They know they're gonna get some heat.
Yeah,
and I guarantee they all lost their jobs. Well, if they're white,
I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see what happened from this point forward because I just seen the little campaign ad and everybody going nuts, and now
that's the only
he's
thing.
king on Instagram.
Yeah. And you gotta remember, like, this is their kids' campaign. Okay, first off, H&M is one of those places. It's not like this is some high fashion designer or something that only puts certain number of campaigns out a year.
Right.
H&M is market by volume. So this was like a ton of pictures that came out at one time. Mm-hmm. Okay, and it's kids.
Yeah.
Okay, on top of that. And so y'all are making really important parts. How many people saw this?
Right.
I really wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't more than 3 or 4 people who saw that picture beforehand.
Right.
And I would say it would have to do more with like, okay, maybe we should have more of a different color. Look at these pictures before they come out, obviously. Or else you end up with somebody with a monkey on their chest.
Yeah.
Talking about I'm the coolest one in the jungle.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it would be I think there is a generation, I think my generation has a sense of, I don't know.
Knowing about it.
Awareness.
Well, yeah, but also, no, it was kind of split. I think there is a removal in some sense.
Like that kind of generational ignorance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, everything's much better.
Mm-hmm.
Like when all this police brutality stuff was happening, it was like, oh, what?
Right.
So the surprise.
They've been killing black people.
And
I
that's
was in California, like, y'all didn't know this was going on.
and that's my. I'm like, why are we surprised with?
Yeah, y'all just got. We got camera phones.
But I gotta understand why they're surprised.
No, yeah.
If you don't, then it's like, okay, if you don't see, I get that.
Right. And it's yeah. So I don't know, man.
I don't know. I just think that like I said, the reaction's great because it's gonna do what it's supposed to do. Like, yo, just chill on that.
Right.
You don't. It's not gonna. No one's gonna do that no more. Right. But I just think I wish that type of energy to reaction would be towards some things we were talking about earlier, just political, just towards that type stuff. And it's kind of like I think we give white people way too much credit. I don't think they're that smart. I don't think they're that like people. I think they're like diabolically more smart. I'm like, these are regular.
Right. Okay, you mean so in the sense of evil geniuses sitting around the table plotting and planning.
We need to bring down the image of the niggers. How are we gonna do that? H&M ad. And again, I think someone's probably mad at me right now for saying shit like that, and I completely understand. But
hey man,
no, but I get what you're saying though.
Yeah.
It's like you can't do the blame the white devil thing on it.
Man, they're not. Patrice O'Neal used to say it all the time that white people they're not our oppressor no more.
Yeah, and no, I wouldn't say that.
Systematically.
No, I'd still say that pretty systematically.
I think systematically black people are oppressors too, because it's baked in.
Nah,
and it has no face.
That's a whole nother thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
I would like to hear that off air because I think we'll go another 2 hours.
Yeah. We're actually just at 2 hours.
Okay.
So
that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
What do you guys say? Wrap this one up.
Let's do it.
And
with a bow.
Yeah.
Boom. Happy New Year, y'all.
We didn't do a podcast after New Year.
I don't think so.
Happy New Year's then.
Yeah. Happy New Year.
No, we didn't because we did the video.
Yeah.
And then
that's right.
Happy New Year's, gentlemen.
Absolutely. Happy New Year, y'all.
Happy New Year's.
Let's have a toast.
Thank y'all for having me on.
No, thanks for coming on.
This was a very divisive but fun issue.
I didn't know you were in Houston. I'll probably have you on more, especially when some more political stuff comes up.
Absolutely.
And
so
to Marcellus, good night.
Yeah, this was a great podcast, according to Marcellus.
I know, right?
Yeah, hey man, he's worked out 3 times a day.
Oh, so that's what's up.
Yeah, Trey, thank you for coming.
Absolutely.
This was really nice, y'all.
Glad you. One, I'm part of our California listeners was coming from Trey, so I think we may see a decrease.
Increase.
decrease.
Nah, they're gonna be like, "Oh, you on our show?"
I hope
And
so.
I miss you so much.
But I'm saying, like, we're going to be missing the California numbers from him and his crew now.
Indeed,
You know,
indeed.
so.
Yeah, I got you.
But nevertheless,
Don't tell them. Don't connect dots for our listeners.
Yeah.
I'm a numbers guy. I look at these things. I'm trying to get away from it.
I'm
telling the
You
numbers.
say
It's
it.
all good.
But nevertheless, thank you for coming on, brother. Anytime that we can get as somebody that is so insightful on what's really going on behind the scenes, as far as the stuff that we really don't pay attention to the majority of the time that's going on with the presidency, and then all the background information. To somebody that's so insightful on that, it's a pleasure for me to have you on here and then insight us a little bit more on it. Because me and Corey, we'll go back and forth. Corey pays attention a little bit more than I do.
I haven't, but you know, the politics just repeats itself a lot of times.
Yeah.
But this is
Yeah, I
this
mean,
is a different-
lately I haven't. Because it's been so much of like, okay, at some point in time, either he's going to get out or he's not going to get out. And I've gotten to a point now to where it's I feel like so much has happened, or so much dumb shit has happened, to where fuck it at this point.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
one thing's gonna happen. I mean, one or two things gonna happen. Either we're gonna crash and burn all together, or we'll survive through it.
That's it.
So
I feel it. I think my last message would just be like, this is the year to pay attention to everything.
okay,
And realize that, like, the president don't do shit. He don't do anything.
That's all we.
He is.
We'll talk about it a little more off here too.
Other than commander in chief, he doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
But this year we
Except
do.
except Barack, he ran everything.
He ran. Yeah. Okay. He ran stuff, and I'm gonna say that right
He
now.
ran the world.
Forget the congressman. Forget
That's right.
senators.
That's
he did
right.
it all.
That's right.
But this year is an important year. It's 2018.
Yeah.
You don't vote every 4 years. You vote every 2 years. And if people 23 to 18, 25 to 18 go out and vote, their mind, because I know it's important to the people 18 to 25 who are fun. And we actually want y'all to come vote, because there are candidates who want to defend those things that you like.
Yep.
So go and make a difference, because those are the people the president actually have to listen to.
Yep.
Peace and love to my transgender community listening.
The whole LGBTQU plus community.
Yeah,
There's a
love
plus
all
now.
y'all. Love all y'all.
Yeah.
Because there's so many more letters.
But I know they're not offended by what I said. I know for sure they're not offended.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, it
Wait,
just
hold
opens
on.
up.
I just got an email. Holy shit, they are offended.
Damn, that was quick. Hey, listen, man. Thank you for tuning in to the To Be Told podcast. I am Elliot Guidry.
I'm Corey Terry, and thanks for listening with your ear balls. Peace.